And welcome back. We're back for what is potentially our last recording for this shithole of a year. Let's be completely honest when we address that elephant.
Was it as bad as last year?
Oh no, I had a great time, but everyone else is complaining about it. I had a great year, but I'm just jumping on that bandwagon.
Yep. I gotta agree. My year was good.
Yeah. Yep. My name is Tom. With me today, I have Peter.
Howdy.
And Dan.
Hello.
And we are Pixels and Pints. We're going to be talking about our usual run-of-the-mill kind of conversation that we have, drink a few beers along the way, and have a good time. But yes,
and
we're going to kick off.
Sunday afternoon that's not raining.
It's windy as hell, though. Christ.
Oh, is it there? No, it's still here. It's nice and sunny outside.
Blowing a gale.
Okay.
Oh, and Pete's straight into it. Look at him go. What are we drinking, gentlemen?
I got floaty bits. Well, they're not actually floaties. They're sinkies. Good. Big chunks of yeasty bits on the bottom of my sour beer, which does not compute.
Lucky you.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Tom's
what
already
is
out.
What is it? You're going to tell us what it is?
Oh, okay. We're going to talk about beers. Sorry, I haven't even.
Well,
tasted
you're already talking about it.
I
so
just poured it.
Well.
I just poured it, and there's these big chunks of goop in there. I am drinking Schwangberry. Schwang. It's too close to Schwing. It's Fanberry Blacktastic. It's a 3% blackberry sour from Little Bang Brewing. 0.9% of drinks. I thought I'd start off with a warm-up beer, really. Mm-hmm. It is a excellent colour.
Yeah. Instead of the Imperials that you've been having the last few weeks. Yeah. Good job.
And you get you get a lot of blackberry, like Ribena juicy sourness, but it's got kind of an aftertaste that might be the chunks of shit on the bottom. I don't know. No, that's really quite nice. It's just mouth-puckeringly sour and somewhat surprising.
Cool.
Tom's into some sort of hazy.
I am.
It almost looked like coffee when he first held it up. It's just the way it caught the light.
Oh, yeah. Maybe, yeah. Sorry, that's got a downlight. I'm drinking Black Ops East Coast Haze. It's their hazy pale. I also thought I'd start with something inoffensive and lighter, looking in my fridge.
Why does it sound like there's Richard Cheese playing in the background somewhere?
There's definitely music somewhere.
There's Christmas carols.
It's not me.
Don't know.
I don't think.
Can you guys hear it, or am I just going fucking crazy?
No, I've heard it before, and I thought it might have been someone's neighbour or something.
I'll pause my end and tell me if it stops. I'll mute. It's
going to be a fun game for those playing at home. Turn your headphones right up.
Yeah, it's at Pete.
Yeah, it's Pete.
Yeah.
I can't hear it. That's really weird.
It must be one of your neighbours, mate. Yeah,
it's a nice
festive season. Tis the season.
I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to pay the fucking copyright licensing fee for whatever's playing. That's really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't hear it if you take your headphones off?
Yeah, let's find out.
Most wonderful time of the year?
Yeah, I can hear it.
I literally can't hear it.
Coal's out or something.
Oh, you know what? It's probably a fucking ad playing on my computer.
Yeah, it might be, mate.
Feeding back. Let's turn. There we go. Is it gone?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Bloody advertisements. We're not sponsored by whoever was doing that, by the way, unfortunately. Got to put that in.
It's so weird that I can't actually hear it in my headphones, but it's coming out of the computer that I'm recording from. That's just bizarre. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry. Back to your beer, Tom.
Yeah, so 4.5%. So East Coast Haze by Black Ops. It's a hazy pale. These guys are from Sunshine Coast up in Queensland. What do they say they use? Mosaic, Amarillo, and Eclipse. It was the second lightest thing in my fridge. The only other thing that was lighter was a alcohol-free
Christmas
beer.
carols are back.
They are.
Don't have any other windows open. It must be one of my neighbours.
Yeah,
must be. But yeah, it's quite light. It's a little bit sharp actually. I got to say, it's got a little bit of a bite to it, like some green hop bite. But it's been sitting in the fridge for a while. It was packaged back in August, so. But yeah, it's enjoyable. It's good for I was in the garden before doing some weeding and stuff, so it's nice to have after that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've got a barrel-aged wild cherry ale from Westside Ale Works in South Melbourne.
Oh, cool.
It's a pretty cherry red colour.
Yeah.
What is it? A barrel-aged cherry red?
Wild cherry. Barrel-aged
Okay.
wild cherry.
Cool.
So, barrel-aged in Shiraz barrels for 8 months, 5% ABV. Just straight away you get the barrel, the oakiness, and the Shiraz characters come through, but not overpowering anyway. And it's just got a nice mellow cherry flavour to it, and some winey characteristics, some red wine grape characters. No tannin or anything there, so it's nice and smooth and not bitter at all. It's just got a nice light sourness to it as well. It's really, really beautiful, actually.
Cool.
I
Really
love
beautiful.
cherry sours, man.
I would
Especially
highly
barrel-aged ones.
I would highly recommend that, Pete. I would be hitting up Beer Cartel for them. Got that
It just
from
seems to-
Quaker Cellars.
It just seems that the barrel aging process just seems to do things to cherry sours specifically in terms of complexity that it just suits that style so perfectly.
There's a lot of depth to it, and it's yeah, it definitely has that juicy, like fresh cherry taste to it. Not the sometimes you get that not quite maraschino side of it, but it doesn't have. It's got a little bit of sweetness there to it, but it's really really juicy cherry character, like really good Christmas red fat cherries. Yeah, with good Shiraz characters, and yeah, it's really nice. I thought it was going to be a lot stronger. I didn't look at the ABV, but it's 5, so that's perfect.
Even better.
Perfect. Yes.
Das ist gut.
There we go. All off to a racing start. Look at us go.
Shall we start with some news?
We interrupt this broadcast with some breaking news from the front.
Yes, there's one I'm excited about. The first one. PlayStation apparently working on a rival of the Xbox Gamepass. So that could hopefully would be a subscription. Obviously, PlayStation Now has been around for forever, but not in Australia, which has been a bit shitty. There's a bunch of old PS3 games.
Yes. Is that what you said? What's it called?
PlayStation Now is a
PlayStation
subscription
Now,
service in the
okay.
US. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's got all the old digital catalog, so you could go back and play a bunch of old PS2, PS3 games. You know, when you had one of that nostalgia.
So why is it available here?
Apparently, they never brought the service over because our internet shit. That was literally the reason they stated.
I think the Australian government hasn't fixed that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah. So they're working on something different now that's hopefully more like PlayStation Plus, where you download it, or like with the Game Pass, I think you actually download it for the month, and then you've got, if you want to play that game, you've got a certain amount of time to download it and play it rather than stream it from their server kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
I never understood that. If they've got... I just don't understand why the fuck they would invest in the back-end infrastructure to run video games and then stream them over the internet.
Yes, a weird one.
I mean, it didn't work out all that well for Steam, did it? Their streaming service. I know that's probably where we'll end up going in the future, but I just think it's dumb in 2021.
When did Steam do that?
I think it was Steam. There was a game streaming service, I'm sure of it. Maybe it was Google did it. One of them had a streaming service where you don't actually ever touch the games. You're basically just keyboard mouse input. And
was that
back
Stadia or whatever it was called? Google Stadia?
That's it.
Yeah.
And they shut it down pretty quickly. I think it only ran for 12 months. But
didn't when they announced that have like Assassin's Creed Odyssey playing on it or something like that?
Probably.
I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah.
But I mean, if you can...
Yeah.
If you can, like, the technology for a game to dial home and confirm that you've still got an active license has been there forever. Yeah. So, like, how many of us have downloaded shit that if you cancel your subscription, you're not going to be able to access that product anymore, whatever it happens to be. So just fucking do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's dumb.
Anyway.
I can hear background noise now. I can hear screaming. Can't hear music. Cool.
Dear. So yeah, that's cool. The Game Awards were this week, which is always a bit of fun. Pete doesn't like the Game Awards.
No, he definitely doesn't agree. What are you humming about?
I mean, the Game Awards, I don't know, 10% fan vote. Like, why fucking bother? Either just have a bunch of insiders getting, courted by the developers, the development studios, like they do for every Hollywood Awards, or give it all to the fans, but don't fuck around with 10%. Like, that's bullshit to stick a label on it to say, as voted by the people. Fuck off.
I don't know if they actually do put that label. I just put that in as an interesting
got a healthy
point.
dose of cynicism in this fucking Schwangberry tonight.
Oh, jeez. Maybe that's what your yeast is at the bottom. It's just your sinking cynicism.
My hatred incarnate.
There were some games. I mean, I wrote there was a whole list. There was, 25 plus awards or something. I only listed a couple there that, especially the games that either one of us had played or had been interested in. So, yeah, Guardians got Best Narrative, which is great because it was such a step up from previous Square Enix titles.
I still want to play that.
Yeah. Well, you can borrow my copy now because it's just going to gather dust. The Game of the Year went to It Takes Two, which I don't know if you saw in the news the other week. The developer was trying to be sued. No, sorry, Take-Two Studios were trying to sue this little smaller developer because they were saying that they were getting credit for the name. It's just like, it's got nothing to do with it. So when the dude won, he was literally just flipping the bird, being like, fuck you,
good on
you stupid bitch.
It's such an old, not metaphor, saying. It's just, there's absolutely no way they were going to win that.
I heard another one.
And the game itself is, you play as a couple that's kind of going through a divorce and they have to team up to get through all these adventures. And it's actually quite a heartwarming tale, but it's got nothing to do with Take-Two Studios, who I can't remember the last game I played that they made. So, yeah.
I've been looking at it for a long while and just trying to get Louise to sit down for longer than 10 minutes and pay attention to a game takes a little bit of work, but she will. She will
I'm
eventually.
not sure what to say to that.
Hey?
You could just hog tie her and like gaffer tape her mouth.
Yeah, that's going to be really fucking helpful for a co-op game.
Watch
Pete.
the fucking screen.
Yeah.
just bound. You can still hold the controller.
Well, like really enjoyable time for two people to sit down while one's fucking hog-tied and gaffer-taped on the fucking couch.
Dan, let's not king shame Pete here. Come on.
I told you, it's the darkness in this beer.
Yeah. It's just fucking distilled down to little yeasty chunks. Is your bad fucking mood today?
They're starting to kind of. I'm drinking them. I don't know what they are. I don't like drinking unidentified chunks.
It's going to get worse. It's like fucking aspirin.
Oh no! I'll go get
your beer.
I'll go get a sieve. Yeah, it does look like someone dropped a rowie of hate in my. There's a fucking title for our Christmas special: Rowie of Hate. Anyway, you keep talking while I go get a sieve for my beer.
Oh, I will do. Anyway, a couple other games that stood out. Deathloop, which is the time loop assassin game, which I know, Dan, you and I had talked about being interested in. That got best game direction, which is cool because they did take a little bit of a left field approach to that.
Yeah, once I finish Doom, I think I'm going to roll into that one.
It'd probably be perfect after Doom because seems like very similar gameplay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I love it's Arcane Studios. What was their other one that they did? Dishonored. I love Dishonored. I think they're fantastic games. I love their art style. I love the gameplay in that. So to put that into a bit of a faster paced action style, I think it's going to be a super interesting game to get into.
Yeah. And then Kena Bridge of Spirits was a game I played, got best indie game, and that was the Pixar-y looking one, which is really well deserved because it was beautiful to play. It's hard as fuck, but it was beautiful to just run around in that world. So for a little indie studio, very much deserved.
Did you send us some on the chat channel some video footage of that game, or did we include some in the?
I think we include. I sent you. No, we. I sent you a clip for the video.
I think I did
it's
include
in one of our
it.
YouTubes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It did look pretty. Looked very almost World of Warcraft. Wow. Almost World of Warcraft in terms of the color palette's very, very vivid and bright and
it was super bright.
Yeah,
it looks like a lot of darker world with that color superimposed on it.
Yeah, there were definitely as you went through it and got rid of some of the darkness. There were places you went that would either used to be stormy and would now be sunshine and rainbows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Nice.
And that was also tied into story beats and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this next the next few pieces of news, but Last of Us casting is almost done.
I was going to say, we've already spoken about it.
We did talk about Pedro Pascal as Joel and Bella Ramsey as Ellie, because is that really her name? That can't be really her name, Bella Ramsey.
Yeah.
Why? Why can't it be her name?
Because didn't she play a Ramsey in Game of Thrones?
No, she was she was the little bear queen. The ferocious little bear queen, yeah.
But is that really her name? I thought maybe you'd accidentally copied down her character's name.
Maybe I
than
did.
The actress' name.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Maybe I'm just misremembering.
Isabella May Ramsey, English actress and singer, known for her roles as young noblewoman Linza.
No, she was a Mormont.
Yeah,
she was
Linza,
a Mormont.
Liana
Mormont.
There you go. Mormont. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, cool.
Got Gabriel Luna as Tommy, Joel's brother.
Yep.
A little bit I didn't put in there, but the guy who did who was the character model for Tommy in the game, they've actually cast him as well as a completely new character. Because they've cast Merle Dandridge, who was the face for Marlene, the leader of the Fireflies. She's back to play Marlene, which I thought was cool.
Yeah,
and they just announced Nick Offerman as Bill, the grumpy dude in that town, as the town to himself.
Oh, yeah, the sniper section.
Yeah. So when he's booby trapped the entire town, that's Nick Offerman's coming in as that. So he's Ron Swanson. He's got a lot of history with woodworks. I'm sure he's going to make some excellent little spear traps.
That part of that game, it was always that you would walk all the way up to those fucking tripwires and just stop. Yeah. Sometimes stop right before them, and then pan the camera.
Your boot would literally be under it, and you'd be like, "Oh, if I take one more step."
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I enjoyed that section. That was good.
But yeah, so I know they've started principal photography because they've put up some set photos already. So I'm sure we'll get it probably a trailer some point in the new year, and then hopefully a release date. I'm sure it'll be probably a Christmassy release date next year to go against everything else.
Amazon's Lord of the Rings. That's a bad lineup. And
I'm sure we'll have something new from Disney Plus, and we'll have something new from the other ones, and
Star Wars, and I know that's part of Disney Plus, but
well, it'll be Boba Fett season 2 if it goes season 2.
Mando's final season
4, yeah. So, and maybe Ahsoka. So there's going to be a lot of versus TV shows next December.
Good. I just wish they'd start staggering them a bit better, because I've noticed everything I was watching just stopped all at the same time. In 1 week,
was always
I
that
lost 3 or 4
American
shows.
fall season, so our spring. That's when everything would. They expected everyone to be home just watching TV, so that's when.
I also think it was but in the past, certain series would run against other series, but you'd have 3 shows you were watching would start up after New Year's, and then they'd peter out kind of 3 months later, and then a couple would run over the middle of the year, and then the rest would start towards the end. I suspect the concentration of shows all ending or all starting at the same time towards the back half of this year has just been. That's how long it took every studio to get normalized with COVID.
Probably, yeah.
They've finally just, because I've been watching a lot of the behind the scenes stuff for Wheel of Time, and a lot of that was impacted by COVID. In fact, they actually actively said the CGI effects in the first couple of episodes are shit compared to the final episodes, because the studio wasn't used to dealing with COVID, and they were just figuring out how the fuck to work from home and keep their workflow together. So,
yeah, right.
Some interesting impacts I think we'll see through a lot of shows if you go back and look for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, I won't be talking about that show. Witcher Season 2, out Friday, you said, Tom.
Well, yeah, so this Friday, so it'll be the 19th of December.
I've got such a boner for that series. I can't wait. But you all shake your head where Tom talks about his turgid penis regularly.
Yeah, but I use nice language around it. Sounds scholarly.
Pete, when you start a sentence like that, it's always like, what's coming next? What's coming next? Is it going to be suitable? Is it not going to be suitable?
Oh, it's never suitable. Never 100%.
Just
that was perfectly fine. That was
Steel
a
for
PG
humans,
version
silver
of
for
some of the
monsters.
shit you usually say.
But if it, yeah, okay, all right. So, I'm really looking forward to season 2 of The Witcher, which is apparently based on the Blood of Elves novel, which Dan was saying just before we started is the first proper novel.
The first proper novel, yes. The first in the series. It's actually quite slow, that book, in comparison to a lot of the others. But
as I've recently discovered, you can do a lot with pacing and compared to the source material. Good, bad, and ugly.
they're gonna have to take some liberties with it. I think just where the last season ended and where they're going to progress with it. But I think like the time that they've had off between season 1 and 2 has really let the I hope they do. I think they will do a bit of a time jump because the young girl that plays Ciri has obviously visibly grown up because I don't know how old she was. She could have only been sort of early teens season 1, and then this she's obviously 3 or 4 years on. Is that long?
No, it's only been 2 years.
Two at least.
I reckon it. Well, 2019 was season 1. Yeah.
Yeah. So which means they filmed it 2018.
True. But and they would have spent 2020 and like maybe the back half of 2020, early part of 2021 principal photography.
Exactly. So it could have been anywhere
still only
up
2
to
years.
2 to 3
up to
years.
3. But she is also of that perfect age where people turn from children into adults really fucking quickly in terms of their facial features and their look and all the rest
exactly.
of it. So.
And I think that really works really well for the story because they're going to do training at Kaer Morhen. We've already seen that in the trailer. So I think a good time jump there for getting to Kaer Morhen and doing the training. I think I hope that's how they do it because I think that'll be a good way to leap it.
We are talking about Ciri, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Freya Allen. Her IMDb photos, she's a fucking full-on young adult. She skipped all of the rest of her childhood and just looks like it's that generic in their somewhat 20s kind of look. That's what her IMDb photos look like.
Most people, when they get someone to play a teenager, they're usually in their early 20s.
Yeah,
especially for female actresses.
Yeah, fair. But she was born in 2001, so she's only 18 right now. 20? Yeah, I can't count a potato. So.
Math is fun.
Really? Okay, so she was a lot older in season 1 than
she was 18 and she was playing a 16-year-old.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, they do a lot with makeup or an absence of makeup because we're engineered these days just in terms of general society.
Well, makeup and clothes and they made tall people look short for The Hobbit, so they obviously did a lot.
They made Tom Cruise look tall in everything he's ever been in.
So they obviously did a lot to make her age appropriate there for the earlier on story. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
The last piece of news, can you read out, Tom? Because I'm not allowed to say that product's name anymore. There's a few more episodes that I'm banned
Air
from.
conditioning Valhalla. Dick Longcock. AC Valhalla DLC has been leaked. Big leak.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So it's based on that, and they've got the shits about it too. There's been a few things that have been leaked recently. So it's based on Norse mythology. It looks like they're going to do and they did this for the last AC games, Odyssey and Origins. One of the DLCs towards the back half of kind of that generation of AC game was a deep dive into the mythology.
We went into Atlantis itself, yeah.
Yeah, and then in Origins, you went to the afterlife and fought against the fucking jackal-headed motherfuckers who were just as annoying as every other. Yeah. And so now we're doing Alheim, which is the home of the dwarves, apparently, and a few other. So they're doing a deep dive into Norse mythology is what it's supposed to say. Speaking of leaks, there was...
really hope they put in a section where they go into a mine and then someone goes, This, my friends, is the home of my cousin Balin. They call it a mine. A mine. And just Gimli just appears. That'd be great. That'd make my day. I'd play it. I haven't played any of the rest of the game, but I'd play that DLC just to see little Gimli.
Little Gimli.
Little Gimli.
There was another big leak that came out this week that studios got the real shits about, and that's somebody working for Amazon accidentally uploaded the wrong GIF files onto Twitter to advertise the latest Wheel of Time episode, and they were the GIF files from the final episode of the season, and I can.
Someone got fired.
and like people have spent thousands of pages on Reddit just pulling them apart. And there's 6 images. There's not much to them. They're GIF files. They last 2 seconds, but
it's enough for some of them.
I can tell you that the whole $10 million an episode, if you were to say that means 8 episodes, they've spent $80 million in season 1, I reckon they spent $50 million of that on fucking special effects for those 6 GIFs. Because it looks very different in terms of quality to the start, which is kind of what I was alluding to before. I don't want to jump into our Dune review before I go get my second beer. I'm sick of having warm beer, so I'm going to have to duck away and grab till I get a bar fridge in the room.
I didn't bring my second one in yet, so.
Well, I did, so sucks to be you guys.
Well,
so Tom can talk to the camera on his own.
I'll talk to an empty room. We'll have a little moment with Tom.
You know, actually, just before, I don't think that's what we'll do. I think, Dan, do you want to just go grab yours, and I've got to fill a story just quick. No, actually, stay there, Dan. We'll figure something else out. Because I want you here for this story as well. Okay. Tom and I did some re-recording for 2 episodes ago. I think I told you that.
Yeah, I gathered from some of the messages in the chat. Yep.
Because we lost Tom for a significant portion of time, but we lost him completely for only about 6 or 7 minutes. So Tom and I sat there and re-recorded. I would play the original audio and video, and then he would kind of fill in the blanks. And for the most part, we did our best.
I actually remembered a lot of it.
Tom did his best to essentially say much what he originally said, based on my memory and his, and also to fill it in the gaps, right? Because he's got a fixed amount of time to get the words out before someone else replies.
Yep.
Except towards the end, he just gave up. And so there's this whole portion of audio where you're talking, I'm talking, and then Tom's filler is like, and then I'm planning on taking over the fucking Jedi Council. No, Dan.
I start talking about Palpatine just for no reason.
No, Dan. Palpatine's power can only be defeated with, and it's just. So my dad rang me and he's like, "Pete, I watched your latest episode. Are you guys on something?" I got no idea what the fuck Tom was talking about. And I'm like, what? Oh, now I know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's great.
How far into the episode is it? I'll have to go and watch it.
The first 10 minutes, it all unfolds.
When I dropped out, when I froze, and then we missed all that bit, and there's just some little, it's like nothing stuff as well.
I think
it was in the news section. So
it was right at the start of the episode.
Did you record video for it as well, or just the audio?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and in fact, it's easier to understand the stupidity if you watch it on YouTube, because Tom was wearing a fucking...
My costume changes.
and he blinks in between the two. He's wearing like a fucking Hawaiian shirt for the re-recorded section, so it's really darn obvious.
Yeah.
Like palm trees on a yellow shirt or something, so...
Festive kind of guy.
A random story. Do either of you have like a 2-minute filler while I go grab this other beer? And if you don't, I'm just going to abandon you anyway, so figure it out.
No, we'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out. Yep.
Yeah.
What are you playing at the moment, Tom?
I have jumped back into Sackboy.
I saw that you were playing that on just before I logged off the PlayStation before. I saw you were playing that. I've been thinking about playing that.
I need a friend to play with it.
Yeah. Okay. Is it co-op, is it?
There's some co-op. You can play up to 4 players. It gets so frustrating at times. It's a platformer.
Yeah, so I haven't played one of those for ages, and one of the reasons I wanted to buy a Switch was to get back into just fun little platformers like that. I've never played a Little Big Trouble. Little Big Planet. Yeah. I'm thinking of Little Trouble in Big China.
Yeah.
Big Trouble in Little China.
That would actually make the game 10 times more interesting. If you cut that in. It's a fun little platformer. But when you're trying to gold every level to get all the collectibles and stuff, and there's some that are done on timing, and there's been some moments where I'm like, this controller's going to snap in my hands because I'm gripping it so tightly, because you start picking on yourself, being like, you're an idiot, Thomas. You could do better than that. What are you doing? But yeah, otherwise it's good fun. It's got a pretty solid like voice cast as well.
What game are you talking about?
Wasn't Stephen Fry
Sackboy.
one of the narrators for one of the
Doubted
games?
isn't he dead?
Stephen Fry.
Or am I thinking of someone
He's not
else?
dead.
Sorry, Stephen.
He's very much alive. No, it's got Richard E. Grant plays the bad guy.
Oh,
And
okay, yeah.
He hams it up. You can just tell he's having so much fun.
He's fucking great.
Yeah, and he's almost playing like a Loki character.
Yeah.
So I imagine this was his practice before he went into Loki. And yeah, it's fun, but yeah, it's that could be a good one if we wanted to stream something just easy. And I'm pretty sure you can sabotage each other as well, so that could always
What
lead
happened to
some
playing Borderlands 3?
No, it's still there.
Yeah,
Just saying,
yeah.
this
I
game
was thinking-
it has a multiplayer play component as well, so it could be a very light, easy one we could jump into.
Okay. It
I only got my
okay.
PS5 fucking a week ago.
Yeah, I
2
know. I'm
weeks
not
ago.
rushing you. I'm just we're
Well,
not talking
it
about
fucking
why aren't
sounded
we
like it all right?
No, it was more no, hang on. I didn't say when are we fucking
Careful, he's got the
streaming,
yeast
Dan.
anger. Don't
I said
enrage him anymore.
I said aren't we playing Borderlands 3? And I come back and you guys are discussing an alternate game. That's all.
No, it's just what I'm playing at the moment was what we were
Right.
discussing.
Do you need to go and get your
Yes.
second beer, Dan?
Mm.
So I can call your names while you're gone.
Yes.
Isn't Stephen Fry the like outspoken anti-religious gay man?
Yeah.
Who does-
He hosted QI for years.
Yeah, so I was thinking of the right person. I could have sworn I heard that he passed away.
Maybe
I remember
he
being
gets,
upset about it. So it's just
Maybe he
random.
gets was it Jeff Goldblum who like every other year they'd announce that he died just to like cause shit
just
on
to
the
fuck
internet.
with people.
Yeah, just to start an uproar, and he'd be like, "No, I'm still here."
As opposed to Paulie Shaw, who just disappeared from Hollywood because no one wanted to hire him, and then he tried to do he tried to re-emerge into Hollywood limelight by doing a movie called Paulie Shaw is Dead, and it didn't work. And that was the last movie he did, I'm pretty sure.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for him.
Yeah. So talking to PS5s, I finally picked up my second one, but randomly I got an SMS saying and I could have made money out of this. So I'm in two minds. I feel like I missed an opportunity, and at the same time I feel good about myself for missing the opportunity. I got a random SMS saying your Xbox Series X is ready for your pre-order is ready for pickup.
Yeah, I remember you sent us the text. Yeah,
And I'm like, I didn't pre-order a fucking Xbox. Sorry. I rang the JB Hi-Fi and I said, the fuck? And they said, sorry.
I hope
we
you
put
started the conversation just like that. Just,
Duh
hello,
fuck.
JB Hi-Fi. This is Tom. The fuck?
No, it's always some girl. I'm not going to randomly swear at some lady who works in retail who has to deal with assholes all day, every day.
That's good.
But yeah, no, and they explained that they had accidentally put me on the wrong waiting list for the last fucking 3 months. I'm like, well, shit, what do we do now? And she said, well, I can put you on the digital edition waiting list. I'm like, not seeing that before Christmas. And she said, give me a sec, put me on hold for another 10 minutes. Came back and said, I've got a PS5 disc version here if you want it. I'm like, do you guys just have them lying around to give away to people? Like, isn't there a waiting list for that too? So I got my second PS5. Cost me $150 more than I'd bargained for, but hey.
How much did it cost you?
$750.
Oh, because you were getting
the digital edition
right,
is like $5.99 and
No,
not
that's
$750.
Well, you mean you got
in
like,
retrospect,
they charge you
I
like
could
$900 for the disc edition. I was like, well,
no. In retrospect, I
bonus.
could have picked up the Series X that I didn't pre-order and flipped it on eBay for $1,300, which is the going rate for a sealed box copy. And then I could have essentially paid half the price for my.
But you did the
PlayStation
morally right
5.
thing,
But I
Peter.
did the morally right thing because I
And
figured people.
that's the Christmas miracle
you're
we've all been
better
hoping
than
for.
that, Peter.
Because I feel like I even feel like an asshole for even getting a second one, knowing there's people out there still waiting for their first. But which is why I pre-ordered. I wasn't prepared to jump queues or do anything special to get it. I just put myself on a list. When it comes,
waited.
it comes.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, second beer, then June.
Right.
Go.
I'll go first. I am drinking the Nope Rope IPA from Garage Project.
I also have a garage project.
Ooh, the
No,
Nope
I
Rope
had that one
being-
the other week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I like the can art.
Yeah. Watch Your Step in the Long Grass. Nope Rope is a lush mashup of the East Coast, West Coast IPA styles, packed with Australian Galaxy hops, and a supporting cast of Mosaic, Equinox, and Simcoe. Yeah, it's... I'd say it's more West Coast than any East.
The name just reminds me of the Pope on the Rope that you used to be able to get from Gowings. Just surf on a rope in the shape of the Pope.
Oh, right.
Carry on.
No
they had
comments.
Nunzilla
No
too,
comments.
which is a little
No comments.
wind-up toy with the mouth sparked whenever she walked across the... Anyway.
Well, yes, in this one they're referring to snakes, which are a nope rope. Had to be snakes. Yeah, it's got more of that piney bitterness for me than any East Coast characteristics. I wouldn't say it's like that kind of soft, more juicy kind of flavors, but it's very enjoyable. It sits at a lovely 7.6%. So
Jesus.
Yep.
That's a step up.
Might sip on this one. But yeah, very enjoying it. Like, it's Garage Project. I don't think I've ever had a bad IPA from them. They really know how to make them, don't they? But yeah,
Definitely.
What are you guys drinking, Peter? Looking at you.
I'm drinking Mad Max by Akasha Project.
Ooh.
Or Akasha Brewing. It's a Lupamax West Coast IPA. It's still part of that Lupamax pack that I have. I figure I really need to start getting through them because they're going to start aging and burn off a lot of the hop character. It's 6% ABV, packed with fistfuls of Mosaic, Eldorado, and Equinox.
Yeah, it's the same
In the
one that's in Tom's.
In the revolutionary form of Lufamax, this banging IPA is full of flavour and goes like a V8 supercharger. Fruity with a big tropical hit and a desert dry finish. It's the perfect beer for our apocalyptic age. I must have Chris writing their blurbs. It's not bad as an East Coast IPA.
I've got to give Chris credit. His were better than
Man
that.
could write a blurb. Man could write a beer blurb.
It did take him 3 months to come up with, and a lot of torment of the inner soul.
You can't rush art.
This is really juicy, and I'm starting to wonder if I've maybe still got some of those chunks floating around because there's a little bit of weirdness to it, but I doubt it's the actual beer. It's crystal clear. I mean, my glass is hazed, not the beer. Very, very peel, very citrus peel. So it's got that heavy bitterness kind of in the back palate. It's quite enjoyable, though. It's refreshing.
Nice.
Wouldn't want to let it warm up, though, because I think it hurt.
It hurt.
It hurt.
In what way would it hurt?
You get some of that bitterness you don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's right on that edge of it's gone from nice beer to I need another beer. So no, it's perfect temperature at the moment.
Yeah,
Dan,
cool.
what are you drinking?
I have a Garage Project as well. I saw this release on social media the other day and was quite giddy like a schoolgirl when I saw it in the fridge at Q Cellars. It's the Mecha-Hop Singularity Garage Project single hop Citra.
Fuck, look at that can art. So good.
Yeah, no, it's fucking beautiful too. It's very pretty. Yeah,
If it had been blue, they might have been in trouble with Megadeth. It's a direct rip of their one of their albums.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. I'll bring
Okay.
it up in a sec.
It looks more like Metallica font than anything else, with the lightning in that as well. But sure. Yeah, it's a very, very pretty label. So the artwork is fantastic, and I mean, you got to give it one. You've got to give it to the artist, but two, you got to give it to these guys, these fucking label printers and their digital printers these days. It's just the clarity and everything that the tones that they can get on there is just amazing. It's just the clever use of matting out some areas so you probably can't see it, but you can a little bit. The silver is not matted out with white, so it's on a metallic stock, so the silver still comes through, and then
you can see the shine.
The pink and everything else has that matte finish to it, and then you get through to the metal of the Megasaurus.
It's almost like a grey wash tattoo. That the Megasaurus.
Yeah, there definitely is some grey shading in there, so there's probably some clever use of white matting. Yeah, it is actually. So all those grey areas would have a white layer behind them, so they stay matte, and then the shiny silver areas won't have the You can't quite see it, getting a bit of a reflection there, but the shiny silver areas don't have that white matte, so it's getting that metallic shine to it. So very, very clever use of colours and the silver label stock and everything like that. So there's me nerding out about labels again.
The pink going up to blue looks like the classic 90s word art.
That
kind of that fade shading. Yeah,
there's even a little bit of the I can't quite right at the bottom of the can.
Yeah.
Can't quite see it clearly, but there's the grid, the good old 80s grid, going up there as well. So the beer itself is just a beautiful hazy pale ale. It's a 6%, just low bitterness, some nice green Citra hop characters. Is it
single hop or did they?
Well, it says Singularity and it says Citra, so I'm assuming it's a single hop.
Yeah.
Single hop pale ale. And there's single hop pale ale. Each unit in this series is equipped with every possible preparation of the single variety of the H lupus using targeted additions of the T90 pellets, cryo extra. Ah, okay. So it's got cryo hops, hop extract, and oils.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, all the way through. Okay, I probably should read that before I start talking about them. But it is just a super juicy, really nice green, but with a little bit of resinous character in there. No bitterness to it. It's just really, really beautiful and light, and for 6%, it's fucking awesome. The only problem is it's a fucking 330ml can. It's my only complaint.
Yeah,
So
the No Prop is at 330 as well. I feel like
it just, I mean, I know it's only fucking 25 mils. I know it's only 25 mils, but no, it's 375s are the others, isn't it?
Yeah,
no, fuck
mils.
it. Give us 375s. Don't give us fucking 350s, 330s.
I agree.
Yep.
Cool.
Anyway, complaint. But Garage
The
Project,
movie.
One
don't fucking
complaint,
listen
just
to me.
not enough in the can.
No.
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
The can's not big enough. Give me more.
But I've got to say, the 4-pack was $25.
That's
which I
very
think
reasonable.
Is
good
pretty
for-
fucking reasonable.
Unless you're buying a case at that price, but other than that, it's very reasonable.
I thought that was really reasonable, so I picked up the 4-pack.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, was this one brewed here or in New Zealand?
Oh, that's a good point.
Hey, Brew.
Oh, hey, Brew. Is that
It's
done
my
in,
Mecha-Hop Singularity Brew.
done in Wellington?
Produced in cans by Garage Project Australia. Yep.
There we go.
Abbotsford, Victoria. Yep. Yeah, nice. Well done,
Cool.
Garage Project Australia.
Can't wait to
Allow
get in the
us
tap room and jump down there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do a Melbourne trip.
We do.
There's so many you can walk to in Abbotsford as well.
Anyway,
We've been
let's
talking
go.
about it for fucking years. Just do it. It's just lining up fucking leave.
Yep.
All right. The movie we've been waiting for approximately 6 months and have been talking about for that long. Dune.
Oh, that one. Right. I thought you were talking about Spider-Man.
Or whatever that play on words about home is.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was funny when I watched that back. Dan's cynicism showing through. No, Dune. So we've all seen it. We've probably said everything we need to say about it in chat. So let's move on to Foundation.
Yeah, the people don't need to hear what we thought about it. No, not at all. A lot of sand.
There
was
was.
nice.
Funny,
There
that.
was. Yeah. So, what do we think?
I'll give you my two. I fucking loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It was exactly what I wanted. It was exactly what I was expecting. My only two complaints, one is a minor complaint, the other one is a major complaint. But it's also within the realm of completely understanding. We're talking about a 2-part movie for a very in-depth novel and world. My major
And
complaint,
for a new audience.
yeah, exactly. So my major complaint was it didn't put across enough of the political scheming that it happens in it. That was my major complaint. But I completely understand why they didn't do it. And my minor complaint was when everything on Caladan was filmed, it was too muted. It was too the grey filter was too high on it. And Caladan's meant to be this beautiful, and it was a beautiful area. It looked like somewhere in Europe, Northern Europe, there somewhere that they filmed. It was it should have been big greens and blues and everything like that to directly contrast against the orange and the sand and the red, orange, and yellow color palette of Arrakis. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they lent into that enough because you had some of those amazing shots of Paul on the cliff where the freighter's coming. There's going to be this is just complete spoilers, guys. We're not going non-spoilers here. The freighter
they
lifting
have spaceships in the science fiction movie Dune. Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, but I'm talking about specific shots here.
I
the shot of the freight, Paul standing on the cliff while the freighter lifts out of the underwater hangar. That's
probably
fucking beautiful shot.
It's also probably the biggest reason to go and see it on the big screen. That single shot there, the scale of that shot, I agree wouldn't have had quite the significance as a shot, as kind of a beautiful shot on a smaller screen. The rest of the movie, though, I totally disagree with that French director's fucking... My movie wasn't made for your shitty TV at home. Well, fuck you.
Maybe not made for my CRT, but it's definitely made for my big screen.
We'll get to that.
I'm going to watch it on my Game Boy Color, motherfucker.
I think we'll get to that argument in a minute because I completely disagree with that. They were my two major complaints, but it did not spoil my enjoyment of the movie at all. I thought the casting was brilliant. Even those minor characters, Pete, that you said weren't in it for long enough, those actual characters actually aren't in the book. They're
then
major
why
characters.
Spend $1 million buying the actor?
Why not? Fucking spend it. Get the best actor for that character. Why cut corners if you're going to do this kind of spectacular movie? Why cut corners on an actor, even if they're only going to be in it for 10 minutes? I mean, my puppy's all upset because I'm getting emotional. And like,
good God, dog.
Yeah.
Daddy's angry. Kill.
But I don't. Why cut corners there? Why would that be? Why would that be the point to cut corners?
No, I agree. I agree with that. I think I'd said in the thing that I sometimes just can't get past actors like Jason Momoa and and Ryan Reynolds and The Rock that they just play themselves, and that's all I got from Jason Momoa.
But that's what you needed. Like I was the first one to make that comment in the chat, right? Jason Momoa, I think, was a wasted actor, and he was essentially playing himself. Yeah, words to that effect. But that's what that role needed. He was the badass Blade Master who was just a larger than life. He's checking chat to see who said it first right now. I can tell.
You used my words, but you did say it first.
So not sure how that was. There's a bit of inception there.
I'm actually just rereading what I wrote about it because I've forgotten.
I just felt that it was a bit of a two-dimensional character, but in retrospect, it's probably what the Blade Master needed to be.
So, in saying that, you have to then give credit where credit's due to someone like Dave Bautista that doesn't ever play. I shouldn't say
bad guys.
No, does he? The range of his ability, if you're talking about these people, these major Hollywood actors that just play themselves, he's a fucking mountain of a man, and he was sheepish and scared, 100%. Which is exactly what Rabin should have been in front of the Baron, and that was when he was talking to him. And then when he was in front of the subjects while he was part of the
he was a hard ass.
The attack, well, he's Rabin the Butcher. And like he played that, he was taking out all of that pent up anger and frustration that he can't portray in front of the Baron. And he looked like, when he spoke to the Baron in that healing pool, he looked like
scared.
A scared little child. And he's a fucking mountain of a man. So absolute hats off to a man that's in a fucking movie and beautifully cast for a man that's in that movie for 10 minutes. And
I'm prepared to concede your point. I think as long as your budget, as long as you're not spending a fixed budget on big Hollywood actors just to get a draw card on the credits, and you're not then you've got to cut corners elsewhere in the movie, then I agree. Josh Brolin was brilliant in the role that he played. He was only in the movie for fucking 10 minutes total across the movie.
So he'll be in the next one a lot more.
But okay,
that's cool. I
so
like
he survives this little fight.
Really
so did I.
Yeah.
He was a fucking
sorry. That was a Chris moment there.
What?
Spoiler.
Yeah, what?
Oh no!
No, we already said spoilers. But the last you see of him, he was crossing the star field or the spaceport field to fight, and I kind of just presumed he was dead. Clearly
Oh
not.
no, you kind of got that feeling when he charged in. You're like, man, he's gonna be fun. He'll be right. He's got this.
So Gurney plays a major role. Gurney is Paul's reintroduction, I won't go too far into it, but Gurney takes one path and stays on Arrakis, and obviously Paul takes the path that he does with the Fremen. And they then cross over, and then Gurney is Paul's way back to where he ends up in taking the leadership of the House of Atreides and Arrakis.
Yeah, okay. I thought the CGI was brilliant. The action sequences were perfectly choreographed. Like the fight scenes, I fucking love that section where Jason Momoa annihilates 3 of the guys hanging around the first ornithopter, away from the ornithopter, and then walks up to 3 more guards who've just watched him, and they're just going, you know what? Fucking bye.
Yeah. They just fucking watch him.
Yeah, they ran away.
Yeah.
Like, you can have the fucking ornithopter.
Well, Duncan Idaho's name is known, so they saw him take out those guys, and they've gone, yeah, that's who that is. Nah, thanks.
I think the Fremen were perfectly portrayed in terms of their kind of Middle Eastern roots, or at least the IP draws from Middle Eastern roots. And I think they were portrayed quite well. Without going into too much detail, obviously that's what the focus of the second movie is going to be, is the Fremen culture and the people and all the rest of it.
I did particularly enjoy. I don't know if there's probably the right term to use for it, but Javier Bardem's kind of like dismissiveness of everything. Like he's just like, yeah, you do it, kill him, stab him in the throat. Yeah, he's not Russian. I don't know why I did that, but anyway. But yeah, I really like that. Like he just knows things have to happen for whatever reason. He's just like, fuck it, man, I'm in for the ride.
Yeah.
And even when he's talking to the Duke, he's like, I have nothing more to say.
Yeah, I know. It was so fucking funny, wasn't it? It's just so dismissive.
Yeah, puts on his hood and fucks off.
Hey,
like,
I've seen you.
Exit.
I've seen you before.
But it was such a shift in leadership of the planet. And where he goes, that is very honourable of you, and I have nothing more to say. And but it wasn't just a throwaway line. It was his whole body language. It was how he rolled his eyes. It was just like
dismissal.
This is it, man. I got shit to do. I'm out.
Yeah, the oven's still on, man. I got to get back. I got to roast on. So,
kind of was like that.
You play your little games. I'm cooking.
So I brought up to you guys before, in fact, either of you had seen it, that the soundtrack or the audio track soundtrack. It's not just the music; it's also the audio language throughout the whole movie.
Conversation, yeah.
Yes, but it was very much a language. When the Sudaka were on screen, it was a very robotic, synthesized, like binary type sound, and that's also what it was right at the start in the opening sequence of the movie. Whenever you're on Caladan, you had these kind of symphonic strings in the background, and then towards the end of the movie it was very synth, and it was very almost 80s synth, and all I could think of watching that last half an hour, the third act of the movie, last hour, was the original Blade Runner. Now I know the visuals on screen were very different, but because it's about as opposite as you can get from a fucking
constantly
grey
raining city. Giant sand dunes,
But you got those big fucking movements, like the sweeping synthetic string movements through the synth, and that's all I could think of.
I was very impressed with the soundtrack as well, and then reading about how, obviously because of COVID as well, but how Hans Zimmer got them to invent a bunch of instruments just to make sounds that pertain to that world.
That's cool.
That was like I obviously know how talented Hans Zimmer is as a composer, but for him to go like, let's go the extra mile and do that, like that's hats off to you, bro. Like, well done. But I agree. I didn't get the Blade Runner. I was because you had said that before we went in to see it. I did spend a fair bit of the film when there was just soundtrack playing, being like, what does this sound like? Like, I don't know. Like, is this going to be like a classic Hans Zimmer soundtrack? But it was, I didn't get that Blade Runner, but I also haven't seen Blade Runner in a fair while.
Long time.
I'd actually like to do both and then like watch Blade Runner and then watch Dune and then compare and contrast. Kind of thing. That'd be cool.
Well, Hans Zimmer and Denis Villeneuve did 2049.
24. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I think
that's what
you're
I was
talking
saying.
about the
It's not
original Blade
surprising.
Runner, though.
Well, I mean, they're both Blade Runner soundtracks are quite similar.
Very similar. Yeah. And even what was the other one that it brought to mind? The remake. Well, it wasn't a remake. It was a part 2 of Tron. Very similar kind of big sweeping orchestral synth.
I found it was a real mix of there was times where it cut into the high female vocal that went into the Fremen soundtrack, and it was almost Witcher cross Hans Zimmer. It was like Man of Steel cross Witcher soundtrack come together with that. I mean, which is obviously Eastern Northern Europe, and it's very different sound. But
I'd say it's more Eastern Europe.
Yeah, it's Eastern Europe. Yeah, it's more Eastern Europe. So it has a little bit of the same similar vibe to it. So there was one thing. What the fuck was it? Oh, it just crossed my mind, and now I can't think of it.
It was the best movie I saw in a cinema this year.
I think the planting of some of the seeds and that
cinema this year.
Yeah, that's
I
only
watched
movie
Star
I've
Wars
seen
in the cinema.
cinema.
Sorry, so I watched Star Wars this re-release.
Oh, that's an unfair comparison. Sorry, Dan. No.
some of the planting of the plot seeds that were done in a couple of throwaway lines, I thought were very well interjected into conversation and that. The only other thing that they did two things, and I wonder, once again, I understand why they do these things for Hollywood movies, but there was something that I caught on YouTube a little while ago, and it was saying how good the first couple of episodes of The Mandalorian are because it shows it doesn't tell. Because Mando, obviously, he has to portray in body language and everything because he's wearing helmet, so he can't emote. And they did several things where I'm like, oh fuck, they're just showing us this, but then like 10 seconds later they tell us. And it was for me it felt really out of place. And the one bit that I caught, and this is a fucking minor gripe in an amazing movie, was when Paul first goes up against Gurney in the training fight. You see Paul put the shield on and he pushes the sword through, and the shield changes color from blue to red as he pushes down slow. And you go, yeah, okay, it's a slow movement that gets through the shield. They showed us, they didn't tell us. And then 2 seconds later, Gurney then proceeds to tell Paul something that he's fucking known for years because he's been training with these shields. It's like, you don't need to interject this in there.
I felt you needed neither of those two cues. The telling part and the showing part. I felt that was gratuitous explanation when he moved the sword like slowly through the shield and it turned red. I'm like, you would have been able to figure that out in about 10 fucking seconds in the next 30 seconds of sequence. You didn't need to show that.
Yeah.
But I did think that the explanation of the Bene Gesserit and Paul and him being this, you know how to say it, I don't, the special...
the Kwisatz Haderach.
Yes. I thought the explanation in this movie was far better and far better explored and paced than the original movie or the TV series.
Well, neither of the TV series, and once again, that's exactly what I was talking to about plot points and throwaway lines. Like when the Reverend Mother is getting back on her ship after the Gonjabar scene, she turns to Jessica and says, "We've laid the plans for you on Arrakis. Like, basically, make use of them." Yeah. Literally, as she's walking, it's a throwaway line as she's walking up the ramp on the ship. And she turns back and says this one line. And that is an enormous plot point. It is one of the Bene Gesserit had worked with the Fremen or planted, it's probably the right
religion.
Term. They had pre-planted this off-worlder child coming to Arrakis and being the Kwisatz Haderach and being their messiah and leading their people to this freedom. And they'd worked on this they've been breeding for 1,000 years or a couple of 100 years to get to this point. So they knew this was going to happen.
They planted the prophecy on Arrakis. They built the religion around it by manipulating select freemen or select external people that were able to walk with the freemen.
Well,
And in fact, the Empire's chick was one of them.
The Reverend Mother was they actually planted a Reverend Mother within the Fremen. So the Fremen always have a Reverend Mother. So you saw a little flash forward in Paul's mind where you saw Jessica sitting in a little alcove with the tattoos all over her face.
Yeah,
That's when she replaces the current Reverend Mother of the Fremen people.
Right.
So there's always a Bene Gesserit Reverend Mother that has like kept instilling this Kwisatz Haderach, your Messiah is coming, and it's the Albai Shaber or something. I can't remember what it is, but that's the off-worlder, the off-worlder Messiah. That's what it is, and they've been planting that seed. And it was literally a throwaway line, and it's such a beautiful way to just not go into
drop a breadcrumb without explaining it.
Deep exposition about it all. Yeah.
So what were you going to say about the director's commentary about your shitty TV screen, Dan?
Oh, I'm just saying there was more than that scene. I think that whole attack on Arrakeen that happened, I think that whole attack was amazing, and the scale and the size of those ships and everything, all of that happening all at once would never be the same on a TV. I mean, it's just...
Look, I get what you're saying. I just, to be honest, and I think I said this immediately after. I mean, watching it on your fucking 27-inch computer monitor aside, right? Assuming you're watching on a modern average size TV, which is about probably 55 inches, I reckon it's probably average amongst the people that we know. I actually think it's your sound system that's more important.
Yeah,
there is so much more of the overall palette filled in with that movie, with the audio, and it relies on really deep bass, but tight deep bass. If you had a sloppy fucking 14-inch woofer, like if you go back to when we were driving around in cars as teenagers with doof music playing, I know Dan, you'd never would have, but that's the whole point, right? If you were listening to Doof, you get the biggest open-air speaker woofer you could. If you're listening to metal, you needed your subwoofer to be tight. And a 10-inch sub would produce better music than a 12 or a 14.
Okay, I'm going to interject a counter-argument here.
Sure.
Outside of the screen size and the sound quality, in a cinema, we spoke about it, the shared experience. So everybody, there is a shared experience.
Can I talk about my shared experience?
You can.
Let him finish.
When you,
I'm going to be the adjudicator for this, by the way.
Within a cinema, I know you had a bad experience, but when you're with people in a cinema that are paying attention to the movie, you have a shared experience. Whether it's a concert or whatever, you have a shared experience. So the emotion is different with a shared experience. When you're at home, you have your phone, you have your pets, you have your fucking doorbell, you have your fucking neighbors, you have dickheads doing burnouts in the fucking street, you have, I don't know, fireworks going off, you're not
setting aside 3 hours of your life.
You
just
have
for the
outside
movie.
Elements coming in. You walk into a cinema, your phone goes on silent, goes off. I put mine on Do Not Disturb.
Or you get punched in the fucking face.
It goes on Do Not Disturb, it doesn't vibrate, or I completely turn it off and I completely ignore the outside world. Surrounded by the sound, yeah, okay, cool. Good enough sound system, you can get that at home. Big enough TV screen, you can get that at home. Not there, but there is always, and I fucking defy you to give me a point living in an apartment block, there isn't a time that there is some outside influence when you're watching a movie of that scale.
Well, I mean, Pete's story kind of... Pete's one kind of does that because especially if you go watch it in like the Lux cinema, you have waiters walking in with food and doing all that kind of
every
stuff. Like
fucking 5 minutes.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's purely on you, that one.
No,
you gave up the seat
for
that
being
you had
nice, for being nice and not forcing a husband or wife to fucking move to the seat that they'd actually purchased, and assuming that they would have called out that they'd ordered a 3-course meal for 3 that were all staggered. Like, that fucking waiter came out every 10 minutes. And I figured, okay, I know you just kind of, again, retail staff, but surely if I'd said for the 3rd time, no, take it to the other side because we've swapped seats, they'd go back and write a fucking note for everybody else to say these two people have swapped seats, drop it over there. But no, I got interrupted every fucking 10 minutes. I understand what you're saying, Dan, but to an extent, you are absolutely correct. There are times when I am okay being interrupted during a movie, and so I don't turn off my phone or I don't do anything special. But there are times, and there are movies or TV shows where I'm so fucking excited about the content, I mute my phone and put on Do Not Disturb. I have once...
Don't say lock the cats in the bedroom too, because you'll have Peter on your fucking doorstep.
Well, if Peter, I'm Peter.
No, PETA.
Oh, that Peter.
The animal abuse.
Those guys can blow me after they recently released a dresses and t-shirts made out of human skin as a way of glorifying it to raise awareness.
Sounds comfy.
I have made sure that I've fed the cats. No more of that. No more of that. I have made sure I fed the cats half an hour before I started the movie. I waited until the sun went down so that I don't have mad reflections on my screen. Yep. And I made sure that my neighbor who lives downstairs wasn't home so I could turn the sub on and pump the fucking audio. Right? So there are times when I've made an effort like that. But by and large, you're right. But like Jurassic Park, like all the Star Wars movies, like, all of the Batman movies, I'm glad I saw it in a cinema once to link that experience. But the reality is, for most of us, we'll watch those types of epic movies in a cinema once, if ever, and 100 times on our home theater, if it was great.
That once is all you need. I'll be back. I gotta pee.
Okay, go pee. But I was going to say, while he's not here, quick, get my points in, so he can't rebut them. I don't know if you heard it, Pete, but because for everyone listening at home, Peter and I had a lovely movie date to go see Dune.
We did.
But the couple to the right of us, the chick was talking throughout it, and I
couldn't hear it.
Oh, she was like muttering stuff, and like she was getting it was her getting excited and being like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" And like she's obviously a Dune fan and like was into it, but for me, I was just like, if I was Darth Vader, I would force choke you right now, and I wouldn't have any qualms about it.
Hogtied and gaffer taped.
Maybe there's the episode title. Yeah, you do that. No, but it was just one of those things that, like, when Dan's talking about that shared experience, which I get where he's coming from, and like seeing Avengers, like for me, seeing Avengers Endgame and being in a cinema when Cap said Avengers Assemble and the entire cinema erupts, that's fantastic.
Mate, I was in Lebanon for that movie, and that cinema erupted, and most of them don't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But when you're having a moving scene in a film like... Sorry, I was talking about the shared experience, my counterpoint to your thing. The lady who was sitting to the right of Pete and I was doing like the muttering thing, and like I was this close to force choking her like throughout the thing because she just wouldn't shut up. And like she wasn't like talking about external stuff. She was talking about the film, but you just wanted to say, shut up and fucking watch it.
Yeah.
No one needs your commentary on this film for, the 2.5 hours. But so like... that's when shared experience goes bad, I guess. What I was then encountering with, being in the cinema when Cap said Avengers Assemble and the entire cinema erupts, you're like, that's a great shared experience. But it's...
And Star Wars, when that first note hits and the crowd goes... And I probably can't say that. When the crowd goes wild, just re-record that and bleep out the first time. That's different. But, I mean, even if you'd taken away the 3-course meal with the fucking family of 3 that didn't bother warning me, and the fact that they couldn't read D5 and not see D3, like, it's not that fucking hard, man. They're allocated seats.
But the problem is, that happened once, and then every time after that, you got fucking caught up on it.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it was a compounded experience, I guess.
Yes. I get what you're saying, but even if you took that out, right? Even if you took the waiters coming and handing me fucking spicy chicken wings that I didn't order and shit like that, buffalo wings, they brought a fucking 9-10-year-old to see a movie that has... It's not adult content in the sense that it's going to scar the kid and, introduce themes to him that he shouldn't be experiencing, but it's a complicated fucking storyline. It's a long movie. He was clearly bored for about 2 out of the 3 hour movie, or 2.5 hour movie. He was fidgety, he was muttering, he was fucking moving around and banging the fucking table, and
if they hadn't reused that one shot of Zendaya fucking walking across the dunes 17,000 fucking times in slow-mo, it would have run for 2 hours. That's the one thing that pissed me off. He just kept using that same... And I understand about the way it added to the story of Charlemagne or whatever his name is, and his plot as Paul, but also... Paul is the worst sci-fi name in the history of sci-fi.
It was written a long time ago.
I know, but seriously, he comes up with House Atreus. He's got House Atreus. Why would you call the guy Paul?
Wait a sec. He outside of the name of Paul, the names of the planets are fucking amazing, and I know.
Don't
That's
why it
sticks
out
sci-fi.
like big dog's balls, calling the main guy Paul. And Paul's a great name. Maybe
that's one of the ideas of it. To make him sound plain, make him sound ordinary when he's not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that I don't know. It made me laugh. It does make me laugh.
Perhaps. But I would like to know is why all of my neighbours are just outside my fucking window screaming at each other. There was a little motorbike club. Sorry, I should say they're Vespers. It's like 4 of them shouting at each other with their helmets on, with their Vespers on at the same time just then, so I'm glad they're
clearly playing in-life Mario Kart. They're about to race. There's going to be bananas everywhere across your apartment block.
Do we want to take a break, or do we want to carry on?
I've got nothing else to say on Dune. I did enjoy it. I think it was a little overhyped, but I definitely enjoyed it.
I agree with you, mate.
I'll
thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
I'll happily watch it again. I think
I thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
Wait a minute. Why do you think it was overhyped?
It just wasn't
the way they were talking about it. It didn't.
I don't think it
could
have
as much as it. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it. They built it up to be as big as it was, but for me, it didn't live up to that expectation of what I've heard from the director, from the cast, the way they talked about it. It's like it wasn't that mind blowing what they did.
It was the content, Tom. That's the edge of they made. I feel they made the best possible representation of the first half of the first book. In modern Hollywood technology and actors and all the rest of it. I think they made a fucking great movie of
I agree with
Dune,
that, 100%.
Dune. But the hype, and perhaps it was our excitement because we're fucking super sci-fi nerds and we got a little bit overexcited. Maybe it was the hype of the advertising campaign. But I expected to blow my load, and it wasn't the best movie that's come out in the last 10 years. And I think anything less than that, it kind of felt like it was overhyped somehow.
Okay, so what was the best movie of the last 10 years?
It's going to be a Star Wars movie.
Spider-Man. Hasn't come out yet, but I guarantee it's going to be better.
Spider-Man.
No, because it's going to follow the same Marvel formula as everything else.
I can't find my home. It's going to be like an advertisement for that new Apple tile. Spider-Man 4, can't find home. I just logged into my iPhone 14 Pro Max, and it's got a... Anyway, carry on.
What?
He's avoiding the question.
Classic. On a tangent. Of what the best movie is in the last 10 years.
You did put him on the spot. Gotta give him that.
It is a hard question, man. There's been a lot of good movies.
I'm not...
Solo. I love Solo as a movie.
Yeah, for me, it just wasn't... I don't know. It seemed like it got built up, and it quite possibly was us in our chat building it up for me as well. It just didn't quite live up to the expectations I had. Maybe I set them too high. Maybe I'm the real bad guy here. Maybe I need to send myself for,
I wouldn't normally say that about you, Tom, but I think you are this time.
I'm embracing the dark side. I had some of Pete's Yeasty Boys, and I'm just getting bitter.
Yeah, I would have to think long and hard on what is my favorite. What's the best movie in the last decade, Dan? I think it's a bit of a harsh fucking question.
Hey, you made the fucking call, all right? I'm only trying to get you to clarify the call.
I said this wasn't. Apex also wasn't the best movie in the last 10 years. In fact,
I'm challenging,
it may have been one of the worst.
I'm challenging you to tell me what is the best movie you've seen. I'm not saying the best movie. I'm not wanting you to go fucking Google and tell me what.
Okay. So the
Alien
list
versus Predator.
The list at the top is kind of blurred out in my mind, and then you've got a whole bunch of movies that are very clear in my mind that didn't make the top 10, and then Dune isn't at the bottom, but it's not in the top either.
Okay, so talk to me. Tell me what's at the top.
No, my bladder is saying take a break.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? I'm not
And his
going to go think
nicotine
about it.
addiction's
So
also
I'm
saying
not
take a
going
break.
to come back and tell you what the best 10 in the last. I'll tell you what. We'll throw that up on Instagram. That'll be our next. Our top 10 movies of the last decade will be the next Instagram.
No, top
cycle
9
we'll
otherwise
go
doesn't
through.
fit in the tile, Pete. Come on.
True. Top 9. All right. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. Thank
We'll be
you
back.
very much.
Momentarily.
We will.
Hey, hey.
We're back. Yeah, no, I will definitely buy Dune on disc because there's two reasons. First, you get more behind the scenes stuff. Typically, you get a blender.
I was telling Tom that I wasn't going
things to do.
I was telling Tom I wasn't going to any more Dune stuff. I was cutting it there, and I was just talking to him in the break, so I didn't have to bring it up.
It's just a general statement, though, that the audio track you won't typically get a solid Atmos with 4K stream from most streaming services. I think you do for a couple these days, but like if you've got an Atmos set up for your speakers, you want to buy the 4K disc.
Certain Netflix movies are doing it. I know you get that little Atmos symbol.
What are you, like, getting undressed or something, Tom?
Ooh.
His camera's gone on my screen.
Wow. No, he's still on mine. It's just his... Yeah, anyway. Cool. So, all right, well, Tom's blending his beers. Shall we wrap up some TV? Because we've got... I don't know why you've called it TV wrap-up, because Hawkeye's still in progress. Foundation. So I was going to quickly talk about Foundation Season 1. It continued to deliver for me. I know you guys haven't watched it. Tom tried 3 or 4 times. I think the revelations that...
Best sleep I've had in years.
I think the revelations that came out towards the end of the series were the types of things I want to see in high science fiction, like space opera. Right? It's larger than life. It questions what it is to be human. You know, those big themes that make you think. And I enjoyed that part of the show. There were some things about it I didn't love, but overall, I think the series was a fucking solid telling of the Foundation story, or at least the first part of it.
Cool.
They're going into Season 2. Hawkeye, have you guys, Tom, Dan, are you up to date on Hawkeye?
I'm never going to watch
Pretty
it.
sure Dan said he wasn't going to watch it, which I actually...
I think you'd enjoy
I heard
it.
that in the last episode. I think you're a bit wrong on this one, mate.
I'm
were
happy to
talking
be
about how
wrong,
you
but to get the motivation to actually sit down and watch it.
It
is
runs
seriously
circles around, for me anyway, it runs circles around the other Disney Plus MCU TV series that they've done so far. In terms of...
Especially if you wanted something grounded, this is a street level like story.
It actually reminds me, and this is not going to be an advocating statement for Dan, but it reminds me of the first Daredevil season on Netflix.
Okay.
In the sense that...
Yeah, it's very much more in that vein. Very much more in that vein. There's so far there have been
Tom's got a
allusions
fly in
to
his
bigger
fucking
things.
in his room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to kill it eventually.
Daniel-san. He needs some chopsticks.
Where's fucking Hawkeye when I need him? He'd hit it. Yeah, it's a lot more grounded. There's only been there's allusions obviously to the bigger MC universe, but it's set within a small span of time,
And you're dealing with
one central location.
you're dealing with a single
and
character's
it's all street
emotional
level stuff.
fallout from the events from Endgame, and I like that. It is central. Like it's a good portrayal.
It's doing a lot better job of dealing with PTSD than Winter Soldier did. Hawkeye's PTSD is fucking hectic.
Yeah. And to bring
Did you see him
Also
change
love
his
that
haircut, though?
Sorry?
Did you see him change his haircut?
no, there's no
do you mean?
barber scene in the start of the series. No, but
They needed to address that.
but-
Directly address it.
but he is suddenly deaf.
what his Endgame haircut?
Yeah.
His Ronin, yeah.
It was terrible.
He is suddenly
Yeah.
he's suddenly deaf, which actually does play into the series. He's got a hearing aid.
I think actually that's one of the best things about it is how well they're doing at incorporating deaf characters into that
Yes.
story and how much it's playing into it. It's
There's
really
a-
cool.
there's
That's really cool. And it's the fact that Katie, what's her name? Haley.
The new the new Black Widow. So you
No. Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop character, Haley something, and Jeremy Renner. They both learnt basic American Sign Language to communicate on set with the girl who plays Echo, who is deaf.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool.
know Fisk is coming into it.
Shout out.
You've already seen a heartbeat flash of...
We know Charlie Cox is coming back as Daredevil.
Is it in this?
It has to be this.
No, I reckon Charlie Cox will be in Spider-Man.
Oh.
That's what all the rumors is. He's gonna defend
It
Spider-Man.
would make more sense to have him come in this. You've got Echo, who's deaf. It'd just be maybe it's too neat. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it sounds bad to the audience. I don't know. But to have a deaf character and a blind character in the same series, I actually think it's kind of an.
I was gonna let it go, Dan. Damn it.
Sorry.
As long as it doesn't look bad, right?
Hey, there it is.
I just think it'd be neat, and we already know that Fisk is in this, or at least his Kingpin
Heavily alluded
Kingpin
to.
as a character is indirectly in it already. It would be perfect if they both made it in on, like, it'll be a reveal on the last episode of season 1, I think, to hook you into season 2. So,
I think I strongly suggest we'll get Fisk a bit sooner than that.
I'm thoroughly enjoying it, Dan. I wasn't expecting to. It was one of those, fucking whatever. I've literally watched everything else in my lineup. I also
just like Jeremy Renner as an actor.
He's actually demonstrating quite a lot of range at the moment in terms of being able to portray somebody who has been a hardcore badass and is now dealing with the emotional repercussions of losing Romanov. And how torn he is between his family and duty. That he never set out to be a superhero. He was a weapon who was just pointed in a direction. And even the emotional baggage of knowing that the only reason why he is seen by the general public as an Avenger and as a superhero is because he was a weapon that happened to be owned by the good guys. And that he could just as easily have been a weapon for bad if he'd been controlled by someone else. And I think that plays very much into his Ronin character. So I'm really enjoying the emotionality of the series in a small character development arc that isn't trying to be bigger than it is.
I mean, it's like I heard what Dan said last week about when he talked about Shang-Chi and how it became a Marvel movie at the end.
Did.
And my first comment, which I said out loud, was, well, it was a fucking Marvel movie to begin with, so that kind of shoots your own argument in the foot that it's...
But it played to its own
Marvel
trope.
movie became a Marvel movie.
It played to its own trope. It's done... It's overdone.
It's like the let's see who's behind this mask reveal from Scooby-Doo, and it's just like ripping off the Marvel logo to reveal the Marvel logo. Like that was the image that came into my head when you were like, "Oh, it became a Marvel movie."
That's a great meme because that's exactly what it did. Yeah. But anyway, I think your retort for Shang-Chi is later in the and don't get me wrong,
no, most of actually the stuff you said I agreed with, but it was that one point I was just like,
the same as your opinion on Dune. I actually enjoyed the movie. I did, and I will probably watch it again, but I'll probably stop it before the last 10 minutes. But I just think that I enjoyed it, but I think it had enormous downfalls.
Yeah, but I think if you were looking for something more grounded and like not as spectacular,
it's an easy watch. Hawkeye. It's one of those ones you can watch while eating dinner and not miss anything.
I'm not going to tell you to watch it, but I'm just going to strongly suggest you do.
I didn't think it would be bad because I think all their TV shows that so far have been unique and different enough to be interesting. I mean, WandaVision was a massive stab in the dark for them until the last episode when it turned into a Marvel movie.
Precisely. And Falcon and Winter Soldier was like that all the way through. Like it didn't deliver on what I think we talked about hoping it was going to be before it was released.
Yeah.
But
we definitely we did think it was going to be something.
We were hoping.
We wanted that buddy cop.
We wanted the buddy cop. Yeah. We wanted the slow exposition. We wanted the intrigue, like almost a spy movie, like Bridge of Spies would have been a perfect, that sort of movie, and it just did not fucking deliver. It ended up trying to be too many things and ended up just being watered down nothing. But I actually think Hawkeye it's a dinner show. Eat your dinner while on the couch while watching it, and you won't miss anything, but you'll still get all of the emotional impact.
For two?
Yeah.
Very horny.
Let's talk about Cowboy Bebop. Dan, have you watched any of it?
Cowboy, why would I have brought it up if I hadn't watched any of it?
I didn't know who put it in the run sheet because I
Yes.
know Tom's been talking about it.
Yeah, so I've been watching.
He's been watching the anime,
haven't
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched the first episode last night after you put it in.
Okay.
I watched the first episode. Yeah.
So I haven't watched any of the anime. I know of it, and I know like the most basic things of it that the before I watched the live action. I knew the ship was called the Bebop. I knew they were bounty hunters, and I knew the dude in the blue suit. Didn't know his name before I went into the TV series. The dude in the blue suit with the pop collar that John Chow plays. That I knew he was the main character in it. Outside of that, knew nothing. So
So
I've gone Dr. Evil while
I
you guys
can't
talk about this because I haven't seen it.
Yes, I can tell. Podcast Cat has appeared. So I've started watching. I started watching the anime probably a week before it released. They're only like 20-minute episodes. So it's nice. It's like when I've got time, I just flick one on, watch it. Cool, that was fun. The one thing that stood out for me is that Spike, who's the dude in the blue suit, played by John Cho, in the anime, he is voiced by the only voice that I'll ever accept for Wolverine, John Blum. Steve Blum. Steve Blum is his name. So it's like hard for me because I think of all the X-Men games I played growing up, and it's like I'm hearing Wolverine, but I'm watching a very thin man as opposed to a stocky Canadian. And then, but in terms of like watching the first episode of the live action compared to, I think I'm 6-7 episodes into the anime, it's almost like Watchmen level faithful in terms of.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, they've really. And I said this last night to Emma because she wanted to watch the live action one. She didn't really want to watch the anime. But it was like, and it was a weird thing to think about. But it's like, oh, they brought the like thinking like they brought the paper to screen kind of thing. But I was like, no, wait, they're bringing screen to screen. It's just like drawings to live action kind of thing. But there was and I think that's been actually, from what I've read, has been part of the criticism is that it hasn't evolved enough, and it is a bit dated. There are certain things that happen in the anime that definitely don't really gel well these days. Yeah, don't translate well.
So they haven't done enough to modernize it in terms of playing to it.
Yeah, it's kind of when you're too faithful to the source, it's like which was Zack Snyder got a bit of criticism for that for Watchmen. It was, but they've done that. But like for me, as someone who's watched the original and then watching the remake kind of thing, I'm like, I love that. I love how there are scenes you can put them side by side. But I think John Cho's great. He's
fucking 50.
It's a shame.
He's 50.
He does not fucking look.
He does not look at, and the man does not move like he's fucking 50. I'm 10 years younger than him, and there's absolutely no way I could do the shit that he does in this show, man.
No way in hell. Yeah.
No.
Another Paul Rudd timeless actor.
Supporting cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Paul Rudd's timeless in his face. John Cho's just timeless in his entire body. He must have been He hasn't done much.
He's been cryogenically
He must have been
frozen.
in cryogenics.
Yeah, because
he's definitely been in
the
cryogenics.
dude is fucking cut as well. You see him in a fucking towel a couple of times, and he's like killed to have that kind of fucking body. Too much of this shit.
And
yes, I'm standing over here like he's so mighty Chewbacca.
And he's cut apparently.
But it's super faithful. But yeah, and that has obviously drawbacks and advantages as well.
Not enough advantages and too many drawbacks according to the studio, right?
But that's the thing. It's fans, like that's the problem. Like fans were criticizing it before they'd seen it. It's this,
but they've now cancelled it. So like obviously the studio.
No, serious?
Yeah.
Netflix looked at the cost and looked at the views, and they've decided not to renew it for season 2.
You fucking kidding me?
That said, how many shows have come back from the brink of death? Like,
true,
they get enough fans behind it. Yeah, I would love to see. Like, I've watched the first episode, and it covers like the first 2 or 3 episodes of the anime, and I was like, sweet, I've got to go finish anime because then I want to watch the rest of it just so I can see how well it adapts.
So I actually, it gets far better. I actually think especially the very first scene of the live action is quite cheesy, and a couple of the lines are a little bit ill delivered. in the casino while they're catching those guys. It gets much, much better, and you really see the actors relax into their roles. But it's this the aesthetic of this is exactly what I love. It's different. It's creative. You can tell the people acting in it really are enjoying what they're doing because it comes across in how they portray these characters. They are enjoying it. They're into it, and you can just tell that. I would make this call that there's been very few takes of some of these lines and some of the interaction between the characters. They gel really well. They work well together. The aesthetic of the whole thing is great. It's earthbound, but not earthbound. Like there's.
Do you get it? I got it when I first started watching it. My first thought went to Firefly and Serenity.
Oh, 100%.
In terms of it's not as Western in terms of like old Wild West, but it is that. They're still using bullets. Yeah, they're not all using lasers kind of thing, but they're in spaceships.
They're futuristic.
Like that merge. Yeah,
they're futuristic modern cowboys, not like Firefly that was futuristic old cowboys. Yeah, they were old West cowboys in the future. These are future modern cowboys.
Yeah,
he's wearing a suit, a blue does he wear a 3-piece suit? Does he have a vest under that blue
2-piece? No,
it's a 2-piece. Is it?
Jacket, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's that great crossover blue. Yeah, it buttons up on the far side. It's a fucking beautiful suit. And guns and sniper rifles and...
Almost sounds more gangster in terms of like 1920s. If you're talking a double-breasted suit...
Some of it is definitely very gangster-based. Yeah, with the Syndicate.
Did you like how when they were powering up their respective ships and it went to like the old-school DOS, like...
Green screen terminal.
That in the first episode? Oh no, just like the power-up screen. So it went through like the code coming down, like you went into the windows, like
where Jet Black's sitting in the cockpit and it's got a cathode ray TV in front of him. Yeah. It was just like things like that. It was just like that's a really cool aesthetic and that mix of kind of modern-ish technology, last 30 years or whatever, but mixed with
old school.
They got their sublight engines. And they're going through light speed, kind of. Yeah.
And even cool. Down to some of their set dressing. I mean that the first episode, first or second episode, I forget which one it was, but he's Spike's talking to the Hispanic woman, the pregnant Hispanic woman.
Yeah,
and
the first episode
is it the first episode? Is it? And the backdrop is it's just a 1,000-liter plastic IBC behind a car. It's shit that is in this world. And like this episode we watched last night, one of them walks through a shipping container. It's like plastic pallets stacked on top of each other. Like it's shit that we have now that they've used as set dressing for. Hey, this is just an evolution of our current world, and it really relates back. But it works to the industrial working class. Like aesthetic of the thing, so they're cowboys.
Especially for them because they're always chasing that next bounty.
That's exactly what I'm saying. They're broke,
and they never get enough money to.
They're always chasing this next bounty, and it really works into that industrial working class people. That some of the bounties they chase down, the people are just doing things to survive, but they've done things outside of the law. And I think I love it. I think it's great. I think it's so well written. I think it's amazingly acted. The guy that plays Jet Black and Spike, John Chow and Mustafa Shakar.
Yeah.
Shakar?
Something like that, yeah.
I think they're fucking great. I think that they have outside of that first episode, I think their relationship really starts to gel, and the same as the actors, they really start to work together.
That's actually the funny thing I noticed. I'm only watching the first episode, so I can't really comment how it goes. And I haven't finished the anime, but Spike in the initial kind of episodes of the anime is kind of portrayed more as that gruff. He's like almost like the fact that he's voiced by the guy who does the Wolverine voice. Doesn't say much, like doesn't gel with him, doesn't agree with like Jet Black on stuff, and it's like, but in this they kind of changed that a little bit, made him a bit more amenable compared to what he was in the first couple episodes.
So in the anime, how long have they been working together?
It's the same amount of time.
Okay, so
kind of
it's
thing.
a similar sort of thing. They don't just meet at the start of the anime. They've been working together.
No.
already.
They've existed together. But yeah, it's I think the main complaint was you kind of see him at the end of the first episode. Savage, who's like the big bad. They're all complaining that they butchered him in terms of what he's come from in terms of the anime, but like, it's one of the things, you're thinking about something that was made in the early 90s and it's 30 years later kind of being adapted to live action. Like, you're going to look at it with, I remember how I was when I was watching that. Like, that guy was so cool, but it's like, he's pretty one-dimensional. Like, probably offended a bunch of people there, but you know what? Fight me. Let's go.
And it's fantastic when you see some. It must have been filmed in New Zealand or something, because there's so many Kiwi actors. When you get further into it, it's got the.
I did notice that. There was one of the first guys. I was like, I've seen you in a bunch of shit, man. Like,
well, the Kiwi lady, the Maori lady from Ragnarok,
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, she's in it later on. And there's this fully tatted up Maori guy that comes into one of the episodes, and he's a black market dealer for kids' toys. So he buys all the hottest, or he gets all the hottest kids' toys, and he sells Jet Black a doll at one stage, and he pulls up, and there's no hiding the Kiwi accent. Like, he's this big, tatted up, pierced Maori guy in this fucking car that pulls up, and he's got this little like Cabbage Patch Kid doll that he's selling, and it's just this massive African American guy. I think he's African American. I apologize if he's not. Mustafa Shakir. I probably should look into where he is and not miss.
It was filmed in Auckland.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll just quickly look up where this guy's from. No, I'm not going to go that far into it. No, don't know. Anyway, he's great. But you see these two big burly guys talking to each other and haggling over the price of this Cabbage Patch Kid doll. It's pretty funny. So
cool.
Yeah,
I might have to watch it.
It's an easy watch. It's also
an
super easy watch, Pete. Yeah,
even the live action one's an easy watch. It's good special effects. Even though I've talked about some of the really
soundtrack's fantastic.
Yeah, the soundtrack's fucking awesome. I've put the soundtrack on.
But that's the thing. Like every yeah. Well, that's the thing. So every episode. So they're not called episodes. They're called sessions.
Right.
So every session episode in the anime some of them have completely different, but they're all based around music.
Yeah.
Every episode seems to be based around music. So I even there was one the other day that was like full on opera, and I was like, fuck yeah. Like good. But they're just going through all these genres, and that's how I first heard about it like years ago. Because
he's African American, North Carolina.
Okay, good.
There you go. Studying music in high school, but one of my mates was massive into jazz, and we used to watch Afro Samurai together.
Yeah.
And he's watched the original anime because he had Foxtel. I didn't. So he was able to watch it when we were growing up. But he reminded me of it when it was first coming. He's like, "Oh, dude, remember that show like you were interested in but you never watched?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then now we're here. So
now we're here.
I'll be back.
Yeah, the soundtrack's fantastic. Love it.
I was just going to propel us forward into our third beer, but Dan's
run away. Well, we can start.
Away. Yeah, all right. What are you drinking, Tomo?
I've essentially got three beers to talk about. So by the time it gets back,
beer blender. That's right.
Beer blender. This is again the Urbanaut beer blender. Comes in the little tiny 250ml cans. So you end up getting 500 mils of beer. This was gifted to me by my mate Gordo, who is also a big fan of ours. He watches our YouTube while he cycles.
That's right. We talked about Gordo. Hello, Gordo.
Yeah. Hello, Gordo, you big lovable egg. So he's got me. Actually got me two of these because he knows how much I enjoy them. But the other one, I think we did it on a previous episode.
It's almost always a sour and like an IPA, isn't it?
Yeah, the last one was the coconut hazy and something sour.
Peach. Was it peach?
They always base
around
base it on a cocktail.
Yeah. So what have you got?
So this one's based around mimosas. So we've got a Tangelo Hazy IPA is can 1, and then can B is a champagne IPA. Taste them separately. I actually got a little bit of like sulfur from the champagne IPA by itself. So it kind of threw me off a bit at first. they say champagne IPA. I don't know if they mean it's just a brewed IPA. Like they're just forgetting that term that was popular like 2 years ago.
They've used. Well, I mean, brewed IPAs do use champagne use at times, but yeah.
Yeah,
with a dry finish.
It was definitely got like, it was very dry. Got a bit of lime. That was about it. It was pretty uneventful. The Tangelo Hazy IPA wasn't as orangey as I thought it would be, which I think is a good thing. I was worried it might be like overly orangey to like kind of make that mimosa feel at the end. A little bit of pine in it. Heaps of passion fruit though. I got heaps of passion fruit. And then together I'm about to find out. So yeah, that's mimosa-y. I'll give them that. That's the orange definitely takes over. The dryness hits at the back. In fact, it's quite dry. Kind of feel like I just had a mouthful of sand actually. God, yeah, it really hit me. I only put a little bit in the taster glasses. Yeah, but yeah, I can see what they're going for in terms of that mimosa kind of feel. It's just, I think for the blend, you definitely want more of that orange character to come through. I guess it just depends how you like mimosas. Usually, with my mates, it's
juicy as fuck.
150 mils of champagne and then 1 mil of orange juice just to get
just wave it over the top. Yeah.
Yeah, just waft it even, just like the peel gets squirted over the top.
Did the same with vermouth with a gin martini for me, thank you.
But yeah, very again, Urbanaut have done it as a little blend, cocktail inspired beer. Yeah, very well.
It's
done.
a cool concept. I just find the beer blenders just a little bit too much fucking around for me. Because
but I like it when you get to rip it
500 mils. I'm not complaining in terms of the volume of beer that you get out of a blender, but 500 mils is too much to fit in most of my beer glasses. So you end up kind of juggling and oh shit, now my halfway point's out, and yeah, it's too much fucking effort for me. Just
if I could show my setup, I have my main glass I'm drinking out of, then I had 2 taster glasses, so it kind of worked out.
Dan, you look like you were drinking
I'm undetermined whether I'm sharing this or not.
Yeah, it looked like a sour, or it's an IPA with no head retention.
No, it's a sour.
It's a sour, but you didn't enjoy it. Come on, can't all be great.
Can you flash the can? Can you flash the can? Because I think I saw the can, and I want to see if I can.
They can't all be great, Dan. You can have an opinion.
What do you think it was?
It's got to be a peach sour.
Yeah, it looked like White Mischief.
Oh no, I love White Mischief.
Okay,
no,
I just saw the white can, and then when you said sour.
Stockade's raspberry. What does that say?
I'm sorry.
Bukkake?
It's
raspberry bukkake.
So it's nice and creamy.
It's
got a good mouthfeel. Go on, share your opinion, Dan. It doesn't have to be a good one.
It's fake raspberry. It's
okay.
just
so it's
flavoring.
synthetic.
It's as soon as I cracked the can, before I even poured it and taste it, all I could smell was raspberry sherbet.
But you say that, Dan. I made that claim like 10 episodes ago, and I never corrected the record. I said that it tasted like a synthetic and it smelled like a synthetic flavorant. I went and did some research on Untapped. It's not. It's so they can get a lot of.
I mean, you can put anything on Untapped. It's like Wikipedia. You can put anything on Untapped.
I suppose that's true. Anyway,
I'm not going to comment. We'll talk about this afterwards.
Okay.
So I just don't think I've ever had a sour from Stockade.
Well, I think I've got one in my fridge, actually.
Tell you what, the base sour is good. The base sour is a
generic kettle
clean
sour.
It's a clean sour, but it's a little bit more sour than some of those other ones that go, yeah, it's a sour, and you go, maybe.
Yeah,
you're fucking pushing it, but it's got a nice dry tartness to it. The base beer is good. It's the flavoring that fucking destroys it. It was that instant smell when I cracked the can, and the room still smells like it.
The blueberry one we had.
I literally cracked that 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And I've barely touched it because I've been sitting here pondering, am I actually going to go and get rid of it?
So what was it called? Stockade Strawberry what?
No, Sour Ale Raspberry Burst.
Raspberry Burst, okay.
I stand corrected. Stockade have done a bunch of sours, and I'm a fucking idiot. So
I'm sure I've got a Stockade sour in the latest Beer Cartel sour pack that I'm working my way through slowly.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't buy more than one, and I'm not going to finish this because it's too. I'm sorry, it's too artificial.
When you can, yeah, that's fair. When you can taste that stuff, I totally get it.
Fair enough. So my third beer is Hawker's Into the Forest I Go, which
I had that on tap.
Which is a spectacular sour. Yeah. So
it was amazing.
It's a berry kettle sour. It's 4%. Now, it describes raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries with the addition of oats to provide a creamy mouthfeel. I've got to say, that last piece definitely plays through the flavor palette for me, but to me, it smells and almost tastes like a strawberry, like a strawberry cream. It's got a bit of sweetness. It is nice and tart. It's appropriately tart for a kettle sour. But I get that strawberries and cream kind of style, but maybe more on the raspberry side of that palette, that berry palette.
Yeah.
Definitely no dark berries in it though. It smells sweet. It's a beautiful beer.
Yeah, we
Nice
were
colour, too.
lucky enough to get a 20-litre keg of that, and we smashed through it.
I'm not a huge fan of
sour keg go that quickly.
This probably sounds bad, but I'm not the biggest fan of Hawker's IPAs. Their core range. But as far as sours go, this is a fucking solid one. I'd certainly drink a case of it. And I am getting a bit bored of Woolworths delivering Colonial generic sour, so maybe I'll have to get a case of it.
Colonial released a new sour the other day. It was watermelon and something.
I've had it recently, actually. It's not fucking bad at all.
Watermelon raspberry? Rings a bell.
Sounds right. But I think, unfortunately, I had it as my 6th or 7th, and watermelon's quite a subtle flavour to get right.
Yeah.
You need any watermelon beer.
It's almost impossible.
It needs to be in hot weather. It needs to be super fucking hot. Just makes it so much more refreshing. I've said that about the old Serpent's Kiss or Batch watermelon. Like those are the big ones that always everyone seems to have. But
even Wayward's Berliner Weiss, their strawberry Berliner Weiss in their core range. Raspberry Berliner Weiss.
Raspberry, yeah.
That's a hot summer beer for me. It's just got that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just find
refreshing.
I find that watermelon for me. It's always been when it was super hot. Mum she'd come back with a watermelon from the shops. And just eat watermelon all day.
Or stick it in the freezer for a couple of hours.
That. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's
so good.
There's days where you can just not. I used to, when I was working the cellar, early years of working at the brewery, when I was still doing hotel stuff, on hot summer days in the cellar, I'd just put an open container of chopped up watermelon. I wouldn't drink water for the day. I'd just be
you wouldn't
constantly
need to.
just eating chunks of watermelons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so shall we get into some trailer trash?
Yes, trailer
trash.
I'm going to make one more June comment before we get into trailers, or it's related to trailers. We got out of June.
Is this the June Spice game?
Actually, there's another comment on that. Shall I do that one first?
No, do the one you were doing.
Okay, so we got out of June, and I said to Louise, imagine if we got a Star Wars movie like that. If we got a well thought out, well paced, just kind of dark, over the top Star Wars movie instead of what we have received. Imagine if we got something in that vein, and then 2 days later we get Star Wars Eclipse. I mean, it just the straight up.
You manifested destiny, Dan. You manifested it. You put it on your mood board, and it just fucking appeared, bro.
You know what? The other thing,
I'll never say that sentence ever again. I apologize to everyone who just listened to that.
The other thing that you said, manifest there. It's I was actually going to say to you guys with this whole Dune comment. I mean, how can they make a Dune game outside of the RTSs that they've already made? Because an RPG, I don't think works. I mean, there's not enough. There's a lot happening in the universe, but not enough to keep a player in a character that is powered enough to keep it interesting. And then,
no, because eventually you'll be able to move your blade slow enough. You'll get through that shield.
Exactly.
Yeah. but quick enough so that you get to block and do that.
And the story of Paul is interesting to read and look at, but it's not something that you want to play through. And you can play a Fremen that was trained, blah blah blah. Anyway, and then what I was playing through all these things in my head, something different outside of the RTS, and I've thought the political side of like a really good 4X game would be fantastic, and that's what they're fucking doing. There was some general information that came out at the Game Awards about Dune 4X. So
yeah, Dune Spice Wars.
Yeah, Spice Wars. Yeah, it's a 4X space game, which is political, and that's exactly what I was thinking. So manifested that one too. Great minds. I'm going to go and grab another beer.
Okay.
A different beer.
You do that.
Tell us about your Game Award trailers, Tom.
Right, so I've put them in a certain order, but I'm going to break that order because some of them are a lot shorter. Some of them, I know, Dan wants to talk about.
Sure.
So we'll come back to the Eclipse, Star Wars Eclipse. So Monolith. Did you ever play Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War?
I did not. I did not.
So
I was interested for about 10 minutes, and then I'm just like, Dan was talking about it, and I saw too much behind the scenes. I'm like, it's just not my bag.
You'd actually love it because it's, for very surface level, it's almost an Assassin's Creed ripoff. So it's the same. So Shadow of Mordor is like, and this is saying someone who loved the game and platinumed it and played it till the dying day and did all the DLC.
Yep.
At its 90%, it's Assassin's Creed. It's old school Assassin's Creed. So not old school, maybe
2 or 3,
3 and 4.
Yeah, okay.
3, 4.
So Black Flag.
Kind of. Set in Lord of the Rings universe, you're in Mordor. The thing they did though, and Monolith Studios, who are the guys behind this one, they have patented this. They created what they call the Nemesis system.
Mm-hmm.
So
which
say
I've read
I'm
way too
Tom.
much about.
So for those who have no idea, I'm Tom. I'm the main character. I kill Pete. Then I'm running around. 3 hours later in the game, suddenly Pete's there. He's come back from the dead somehow, and he goes, "I remember you. You fucking knifed me in the throat. Guess what? You can't jump over me this time and knife me in the throat anymore. You have to think of a different way to kill me." And then if I lose that fight, Pete levels up. So then Pete becomes a general, and he gets better armor. He gets bodyguards. He gets a warg to ride on, whatever. So they made this Nemesis system. So the game remembers how you killed every single little fucking piece of shit.
I was going to put on the run sheet. Let Tom have a deep dive into Shadow of War because of the Wonder Woman game.
Yes, that's exactly what we're
getting at. So
precisely what happened while you were gone.
I skipped Eclipse to wait for you.
Yep.
So we got a 30-second teaser, and it's literally it's going over Wonder Woman's armor as she's whipping a magical golden rope around. The lasso of truth. I do know what it's called. Thank you very much. Golden rope.
Golden rope.
She's not doing a Michael Hutchins.
Then we just need the
David Carradine.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
Always
then we need the gaffer tape of power.
Always have a spotter. But they've said that they're going to use the Nemesis system in this Wonder Woman game, which got me excited. So it's the whole thing you hear in the 30-second teaser is, I'm guessing it's the mother or the mother saying, "Come home. We've got a threat at home. You may be a superhero in the outside world, but we need you to be a hero
so
to
it's
your
set
people."
in Themyscira.
Yeah, from what I gather, yeah. So it's back on.
Doesn't seem like a big enough island to set a whole game on. So
you were only in Mordor and only certain parts of Mordor for Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor.
Okay.
But if they're using the Nemesis system, that's really fucking cool, and that's nice to see it applied to a different
category of game. Yeah.
And they already have a fantastic stealth and combat system to go hand in hand with Wonder Woman's fighting style. I mean, it just. But everything they did for Shadow of War or Shadow of Mordor, I haven't played Shadow of War. I'm thinking about it. Can translate straight over to Wonder Woman. They've got the bow and arrow. They've got the stealth aspects and the sword combat.
Yeah. Dan, just for you, if you're thinking of playing Shadow of War, the I guess the main difference is you add some kind of like tower battle kind of strategy element to it. You have to you capture fortresses and you have to defend the fortress against an attack or take over. Yeah, there's different things, but yeah, just using that nemesis system in a DC game, that'd be cool. Cool to see.
It's such a good system.
We didn't get shown much. We just got basically shown I reckon it's a very early. It was pretty rough Wonder Woman character too.
There wasn't much overall detail to the.
It was close ups of the armor.
It was a black background and
but
so they've done the character model and
probably
that's it so far.
Yeah.
I don't even think they finished the character model, to be honest.
It was just a cobbled together.
It was a very generic looking Wonder Woman. Yeah, they definitely need some polishing.
I'll be right back. You guys
you want to
keep going? Talk about Star Wars Eclipse, because I saw the cinematic, but I didn't really understand what the fuck was going on because I don't know what it's about.
We'll wait for you to get back to it until we get into that then.
Okay.
I'll go to the Square Enix game in the meantime while you go.
Yep.
So we're jumping through the list here. I'm gonna have to cross them out as we go. One of the other games they released, which I've talked about before, because I think it was in one of the PlayStation showcases. It's a new Square Enix IP called Forspoken.
Yes.
Which was originally it looked like a tech demo for the PS5, and now it seems to be some sort of like you have magical powers, but they're like more element based kind of thing.
She's got the 10 rings kind of.
Yeah, she kind of does look like that. Yeah,
bracelets up her arm. Yeah.
So you're being put into this world, which is starting to get more fleshed out in the trailers. You're starting to meet more of the background characters. But your character is from our Earth and gets sent to this,
like New York or something, isn't she?
Yeah. She's from a major city. Gets somehow sucked into this alternate world where it's post-apocalyptic, I guess, or just ruins. It's open countryside. There's doesn't seem to be. I mean, we see pockets of civilization, but for the most part, you're fighting these like shadowy monsters or like almost element-based monsters. So there's one that looks like it was kind of made of like swirling winds that were holding branches together to make arms and kind of that kind of stuff.
It's got a very Horizon feel to it rather than the tech dinosaur side of it. It's more fantasy side. It just exactly what you said.
Did you ever play Journey?
Yes.
Little PlayStation game. The way she moved really reminded me of Journey.
It definitely does.
She glides.
Flowing move, yeah.
Yeah. And you fire at the ground to boost yourself up and then you can glide further kind of thing. But I see what you mean by Horizon-y, in terms of its combat style. It looks cool. It's it's one of those things when you play like a Square Enix game, if you're not into Japanese culture, sometimes they are a bit weird and a bit kind of bit hard to grasp in terms of the way they tell stories. It's so close but so different kind of to the way Western culture tells stories. So there are definitely times where you're just like, where did that come from? But then when you actually go back and think about it, you're like, I can see where they come from. They just came from a left angle when I would come at from a right angle kind of thing. But it looks cool.
To not be the Japanese side of it. They seem to not be so concerned with filling in every gap of storytelling. They kind of just go,
which kind of throws people, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%.
On that as well, we did get a bit of an extra teaser of the new Horizon.
I didn't see
Forbidden
that
West
one, actually.
coming.
Yeah.
Down the bottom of that article I sent you guys, it just showed off some more of the animals. They're getting more and more dinosaur-y as they go.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a giant snake at one point. They're showing more scenes because she can go underwater now. So there was like plesiosaurs, kind of like robot things. Diving off cliffs where she uses her glider. So there were like pteranodon kind of dinosaurs there.
I know there was alligators in the first one, wasn't there? The big alligator.
I really need to play Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, you need to. It's so good.
It is really good when you're out in the open world doing your thing, but the cities feel really, even though they're hugely populated, or not hugely populated, they feel empty. Yeah. There's not much actually going on, so you kind of just go, yeah, whatever, and then just
that's the thing. Whenever I went to go into the city, I'd be like, oh, cool, can I get this over so I can go back and hunt giant robot dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Also, you get to ride the raptor dinosaurs in this one, which is kind of cool.
And it's funny that, like,
I guarantee the first time I capture one of those raptor ones, I am going to get on top of it and I'm going to say, "Clever girl." I'm going to record it. I'm going to do it.
Send me the clip. We'll throw it in an episode. Yeah. Dan, is that a replacement third beer, or is that going to be your fourth?
No, that's a replaplement third. That's Old Man Yells at Clouds.
Which it
was a new batch.
Right.
So I just, this one
it's
obviously
a fantastic beer.
It's missed.
Old Wives' Ales, isn't it?
Yeah, Old Wives' Ales, yeah. It is a great beer. That's why I grabbed a couple of them, and it's just a
fantastic Simpsons reference as well.
Good Neighbor. Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's not over the top. It's just that really early on, I guess, not before the style evolved to what it is now with like stupid, like could eat it with a knife and fork haze to it.
Chunk.
I've got a different mountain culture.
It's cloudy, but not a cloudy.
For exactly that reason.
But it's nice.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. I'm glad I got that replacement.
Pete, do you want to start talking about Warhammer and everything that you're scared and worried and
I have questions here.
I
have questions here, Peter. So yes, we can cover these while Thomas wheezes.
Okay.
So my question. So your comment in the chat.
Let's introduce the topic first. So Saber Interactive are doing Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, which is a sequel to a game that was 2008. I want to say, just as a random fucking guess. Yeah, it's quite old now. It was a PlayStation 4 title, but let's find out how good my guess was. 2011. There you go. Yes, and I've always loved the 40k kind of backstory and IP.
Yeah, of course, and I mean you've spoken about that almost at length of what I've spoken about Star Wars and Dune and shit, and people are probably going to get sick of us repeating ourselves. But anyway, and you made a comment in there that Warhammer Space Marine, it's $18 on Steam, so I think I will buy that. You made a comment that saying something about
it was Quake in a 40k universe.
Yes, and then you made something more about a comment about 18 or 12-year-olds playing something.
Yeah, so the single-player campaign was brief and unremarkable, and for the most part, the game was built around a multiplayer first-person shooter engine that was very high arcade, like Quake.
Didn't put those links together there. Okay.
And it was populated by fucking 12-year-olds. And to me, whilst the weaponry was 40k, it was generic. I mean, you know, their bolt pistols and their bolters are machine guns with explosive rounds. So it's very generic future science fiction. The Imperial Guard have las pistols, which are generic laser guns, and they're piss weak compared to the Space Marine bolters. And then you've got the fucking Tyranids. They always pitch. I mean, there is so much intellectual property and there's so much nuance to some of the 40k universe IP that you always have Imperial Guard as background characters in every fucking game. They're piss weak and a pushover.
Imperial Guard, so where do the Space Marines fall in?
So Imperial Guard are the human cannon fodder troops of the 40k universe. Space Marines are genetically engineered super soldiers, 7.5 foot tall, like practically. They're literally
part of the same legion, though.
Yes, they're on the same side. They're in the Imperium of Man.
That's what I mean.
And Space Marines, ironically, are immortal for natural death, but they are all going to die in war. So there's kind of an irony to that. And then you've got the Tyranids, who are a rip-off of the original Alien from Aliens.
Yep, so he's chopping someone's head off at the moment.
And they've got some really cool nuance to the Tyranids that are never displayed in the fucking games. There's a whole Starship Troopers style hive mind behind it. There's so many variants of them that you never really get to see, the Carnifexes and all the rest of it. And so all the video games that have ever come out for Space Marine have really been against the Chaos Space Marines, so generic versus generic, or against the Orcs, the Sea of Green, like the Green Tide, or they're against the Tyranids. It's just done to death. You had some elder shit in RTS, but you probably heard my neighbour's mailbox closing then, Dan. That was a very tinny noise. No?
Just making sure Nia hasn't caught a bird. She was chasing birds before.
All right. You go check on that.
Nia's my dog, not my child, by the way.
So, although that line grays sometimes.
He's got a dog.
That little feral child running around on all fours in the backyard. You see it happening.
Just see it in like a brown wool dusty dress with a fucking belt knife in her hands.
Exactly. Yeah.
On the village green.
I did particularly enjoy, Pete, in that trailer of the Warhammer one, the return of overly large boots that are not practical. Took me back to my early 2000s video games, like
some
War
of the
from Darksiders.
Yeah.
Just giant boots.
Or some of the fucking
a design element I love.
Some of the cosplay. I've seen some fucking stupid ass cosplay of Space Marine boots.
They're amazing when you see those Space Marines out there. Just the sheer engineering that goes into making a suit.
Just the scale. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What did I miss? Actually, what didn't I miss? So have we talked about Star Wars Eclipse?
No, we haven't.
No,
we're avoiding it.
Not avoiding it. We're
Indefinitely? Or?
No. We're avoiding it until
we're all here.
You're free. We're here to discuss.
Let's.
I think we do that last. I think we jump into the Kill the Justice League gameplay because I think that'll be relatively quick. I'm sensing a kind of
rip-off
4-op co-player game like element.
If they go down that path, then great. But to me,
which you could play single player, but I think they're kind of going to push that. You want to get your squad, form your squad, and there's your marketing.
If they
line.
go down that route, then
Wouldn't
I'll
they
be
have already
happier.
played that already? You reckon?
No, because they hadn't showed any gameplay up until today. Well, this week.
Yeah.
I would be happier if it was 4-player co-op, but to me, it looked like kind of a rip-off of the concept of the Guardians game that you just finished playing.
Yeah, but I can see where you're coming from, but they were all too evenly balanced. Everyone had a
time.
Well, no. In terms of their loadout, so everyone had a close range weapon. Everyone had a long range weapon.
Traversal
thing. I didn't know Boomerang could move like that.
He's never been able to, as far as I understand from comic books. It's like a fucking teleport boomerang. He throws it and he teleports there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They'll explain it in the game, how he got it. 100% they will.
It'll be some sort of, Brainiac upgrade. Or
yeah,
something.
exactly. It'll be some tech that he got from someone, yeah.
And Flash seems to be the bad guy overtaken by Brainiac, which I guess has happened in the DC comics.
Well, that's the whole concept of the game.
And
is the
Superman
Justice
was
League
in the last trailer.
Yeah. Justice League are being captured by Brainiac, and then they send in the Suicide Squad to kill them. Whether or not you kill them or you take them down and then knock them out, and then
I'm a bit meh about the game.
I think it could be fun if it's 4-player co-op.
If it's 4-player co-op,
fun.
I will play the shit out of it with you guys. But
because the characters are pretty obviously balanced that way.
But they all 4 characters that they've picked. There is not, in my mind, for me. I shouldn't speak for other people, but there isn't one character that they've picked that you go, no, I don't want to play as that character. They've all uniquely, and we've seen absolutely fuck all, really. So they've uniquely designed everything you've just said about their weapons and their traversal and their moveset and even down to their design. They've uniquely designed them enough that, like, I would be happy to jump in as any of the characters.
Them.
Yeah.
So you've got the Skippy guy with. I've got to say they haven't done a bad job of the
Captain
accent.
Boomerang.
They've done a better job of the
I think we're going to
Aussie
refer to him
accent.
now as Skippy Guy.
No, that's his name now. You've got Sharkman, Sharknado,
King Shark.
Yeah.
This is great because
not seeing
Dan's
the
just going to
theme
correct him
here,
every
Dan.
time, but I'm going to let Pete go. Let's go. Who's next?
You've got Jester Chick.
Yeah, Harley.
I'm trying to think of the fourth character so I can fuck.
Let's
their
be
name
honest.
up too.
Jester Chick is probably the best way he could have gone with that. There were so many other ways he could have gone.
I know. I kept it way above board. No more trouble with the IP police.
Okay, Deadshot.
Yeah,
Sniper.
I could have just said
Sniper
Will
Man.
Smith or Gemini Man. That would have been a good reference. Yeah, the sniper guy. the sniper guy.
Where's the footballers ahead?
To me, they're all kind of just a bit generic. I'm not excited at all to play the game unless it's co-op, and that's going to be more for the lols with you guys than it will be for the actual game.
Have we lost Tom?
I don't know yet. Possibly. Come on, we're professionals. You just keep acting.
Man, Pete, whatever that fucking radio that is playing in the background is...
I can't hear it, hey.
No, it is seriously.
I believe
it's
you.
It's not one of your fucking neighbors, man. It's something playing like in your room. I can hear it way too clear for it to be. Big Brother is watching. Anybody?
And we're back after we had a catastrophe of technology. Tom's NBN exploded because no one's in a edge seat in Ultimo. So they don't have to make their internet work now that it's a government thing. And we've discovered the source of, hopefully, the radio signal that I've managed to mute out of my microphone for the last whole episode. And it's really... Yeah, we were literally just listening to... So for those listening at home, when no one was talking, my microphone was picking up signals from what sounded like radio. It was definitely radio. It wasn't TV.
Oh, 100% it was radio.
And I've got no window on my computer open. There's nothing
Maybe
playing in the background.
Maybe you're listening to an alternate dimension.
It's
like Stranger Things.
My phone was definitely not...
It's a scary dimension.
It's where my computer went.
It's the upside down. And the only thing I changed to get rid of it was to take out, which you won't be able to read, this is a microphone gain booster, which runs on 48-volt power off my...
Sweet gains, bro.
Yeah, this is Clark Technic Mic Booster CT1. So if you use this in line with your audio signal, be careful. It apparently picks up fucking FM radio. That's just bizarre. I'll mail that to my dad, who's a retired Sparky. He'll pull it apart and figure out where the fucking aerial is in the signal path.
That's when he finds the tracking device. And then you know.
The silent helicopters want to come get me anytime. As long as I don't get anally probed too badly by the aliens, I'll get to meet the Greys, and that'll be worth it. Shall we
say that now?
Where were we?
We were talking about Eclipse. We actually hadn't even started.
We hadn't got to Eclipse. We hadn't got to Eclipse yet.
No, we hadn't got to Eclipse. We were talking about how Pete wasn't... last thing I heard was Pete not being excited by...
Space Marine.
Yeah.
No, Justice League.
Justice League.
Yeah. Which is fine. Don't be excited about it. I agree. I think it'll be more fun if we get to play it together.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
That'd be something we could stream.
I had not even put the co-op thing in my head. Like, it just hadn't answered
just the way the characters were... Well, no, just for me, just the way the characters were built.
I actually think, looking at the trailer now, that one they just released, I actually think you're probably right.
Write it on a coaster. That's the way to do it.
Have we finished with the trailer trash for games?
No, we got the Star Wars one.
Talk about the Star Wars one. It's a cinematic trailer that tells you absolutely fucking nothing about the gameplay or the style. It tells you
nothing. The style, it tells you, it oozes style.
100% oozes style.
So the style of game in terms of the mechanics. Is it a real-time strategy? Is it a first-person shooter? Is it a fucking...
Well, it's made... Well, we can know that from the studio, Peter. So it's made by Quantic Dreams, who have made Heavy Rain, was one of their first games. It came out on the PS3, from memory. And then on the PS4, one of their best-selling games was Detroit Become Human.
Mm-hmm.
So they specialize in those games that are...
interactive storytelling.
You can probably hear
interactive story.
I'm just going to mute for a sec.
Okay.
So it's more
like a choose-your-own adventure, almost.
Yeah. Like, best way to describe it, actually.
There's supposed to be something like 1,000 endings to that Becoming Human.
If you go through all the stories, because there's like
that's the one where the robot has to talk down the suicidal robot that's got the kid.
Yeah. So it's set in near future. They've got bicentennial man kind of cyborgs in the world, and
Louise has just got home, so
talking.
Indy's going fucking crazy. Yeah.
She's talking. Indy's
fair.
talking.
She does talk. Yeah. Yeah, she does. She's
Uh,
wonderful. It's a very warm welcoming when you get on.
That's a beautiful blue.
Oh, yeah, Jasper
blue
does the same
cuddle
thing.
Oh, does he?
You just,
okay.
He has to tell you all about his day before he.
Yeah.
Well, I slept on the couch, and then I went to my bed, and then I had a cookie, and then I licked my balls.
And then I went,
Balls
squirrel!
don't exist. Hey, Scooby.
You sound
Nah,
more
that
like
was
fucking.
Yogi Bear.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yogi
you
Bear.
sound more like
Hey,
Yogi.
boo boo. Yeah, so Quantic Dream, they've done all those kind of interactive story games.
So I just quickly brought up on Wikipedia the Quantic Dreams games list, and I actually played their very first game, which was a game called Nomad Soul, and it was a weird fucking game, man. It was a weird game, but it was good. I don't think I ever got very far in it, but if you died, you changed into your soul moved because Nomad Soul, so it moved into another body and went from there. And it was I've actually played quite a few of their games, and I was wrong.
I definitely haven't played Heavy Rain. I've got
Heavy Rain's good. Heavy Rain's very
It's supposed to be a
I've got
really
I've
solid
got Detroit
story.
Become Human saved in the PS catalog to play at some point, but I just haven't got around to it yet.
The only thing that disappoints me
Game's gotten in.
with now, I actually thought there was another game in their compendium
What
that there actually is. I thought the game that I
is
said
happening?
that. Sorry. Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Who have we lost?
We might have lost Tom again.
We might have lost Thomas again.
Fucking internet. And we're back in our ongoing technical difficulties episode. We've gone from
Hold me.
radio transmitters baked into the microphone to Tom's internet being shite.
Whoa,
Damn
my
me,
uploading
those
is
technically
just
backwards.
jumping. Holy crap. Oh, look at it go. It's like a rocket. Oh, yes, son. Yes, son. Go, son.
You can do
go.
it. You can
go.
do it.
Get there. Yes, boy. Sorry.
Come round the final lap, the 1,000 meters.
I definitely clipped there as well. I apologize. Yeah, it started. I've never seen it go to 0%. It was started at 0%.
It always does.
No, usually when you start the thing, it jumps straight to like 98% or something.
Okay.
I've seen.
Well, I tried
Peter.
I just finished a Dolly Aldrin from Yearly's Brews, which I thought we'd already tried, but there's so many dollies that I checked and we hadn't tried it. It was brilliant.
What was it?
Oh well. The strawberry Berliner Weiss.
Oh, lovely.
Okay. Yeah.
I
not
have
my
cracked a
fourth
new
beer,
beer after my mimosa. I'm having with the theme of,
Are we going fourth beers? Are we in this
may as
catastrophe
well.
of an
You
episode?
never know.
Fuck it.
Who
Why
knows
not?
what's going to happen
I don't-
next?
I don't
I
have
might
a
get
fourth
sucked
beer,
up into a spaceship.
It's the only thing that hasn't happened.
Well, I'm having Bridge Road Brewers, the Magical Christmas Pavlova Unicorn.
Oh, no.
Can you type that into the run sheet? Because there's no way I'm going to remember that while I'm pouring.
Their festive dessert beer. They do usually do this for. Isn't they usually do it as an Easter beer? It's the unicorn. I'm pretty sure from memory. But yeah, it's pavlova in a beer. It's liquid pavlova. They've really
Pavlova
nailed,
in a beer
they've nailed all the flavors.
with the fruit salad on it. What, Dan?
Oh, I think I might have left it too late to go and get some cake hole for Christmas.
I've got a can in the fridge for you.
That doesn't help me, Pete.
I know a guy. I know.
You
I
know where
I
I
got it
live.
too. I probably should. Yeah. I mean, we're 2 weeks out. It's probably not too late. But
No, definitely not too late.
Yep.
But yeah, this is
Sorry.
this is literally it's pavlova in a beer. You get the fruit, you get the cream, you get a bit of everything. But yeah, well done, Bridge Road. How good, Christmas treat.
Cool.
I will take.
Dan's not doing a fourth beer.
Well, I do. I mean, I have a sample three quarter IPA. It's good. I like
What?
this beer.
The fuck is a sample 3/4
Sample
IPA?
Brewing. It's their 3/4 IPA.
Sample 3/4 IPA.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's good.
it's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's Simcoe and Pacific Gem, and it's 4.5% or something like that. 4.2%, and I'd fucking smash them. I've drunk like 10 of them on Friday night. It was great.
Yeah,
Love
cool.
Yeah, they're just
No comment.
hey, no
Nothing.
comment.
Nothing.
No,
Nothing.
no. talk to me, Peter. Can you pause the? Pause
No, we'll talk about it later.
We're not.
Okay.
We're
No,
not
fuck it, I'll
pausing
say
for the
that.
eighth time.
I've never liked a sample beer that I've had.
Mm.
Mind you, I haven't had one in a few years. How long have you been making them?
Yeah. The last.
You didn't come up with the recipe, though, did you?
No, I didn't. No,
Mm.
but you. I will tell you after who did come up with the recipe.
Sure, I'll fight them.
Oh, will you? Yeah. We'll
Please tell me it's one of my
this.
brews. Please tell me it's one of my brews. Please tell me it's one of my brews.
We'll take this. We'll take this
Is
offline.
it like a secret Liam recipe?
No. We'll take.
That
take
would have
this,
been funny.
We'll take this offline.
Yeah, I've
and-
had most of the sample range, but I don't know. They've just never struck me as, for me, particularly enjoyable beers. I will say that for me.
He's going to message you.
Yeah.
So for my fourth and final beer, I'm
Yeah, because
drinking.
then I'll blurt it out. I'll be like, oh, that.
No, don't.
So I am drinking a mountain culture that's not a NEPA or an IPA of any kind, actually. It's called Laser Quest. It is a dragon fruit Berliner Weiss, 5% ABV. I had to jump at a mountain culture that wasn't a NEPA because that's what they do so fucking well. I wanted to see.
Man, have you seen their festival? I'm so excited for it, and I couldn't get tickets. They're doing an
Yes, I
entirely
did, and I
smoked beer
totally
festival.
agree with you. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
Would
really?
have been,
Yeah,
yeah,
in like
yeah. It would
February.
have been fucking
Oh,
epic.
it's going to be
Oh, wow.
fantastic. Rockfest.
I've got to say,
And you should see
Dragon
the
fruit-
brewery lineup as well is all the like big like New England IPA like heavyweights in like the Australian brewing industry. And
doing-
they've been like, make us a fucking smoked beer.
That scares the hell out of me because those guys probably haven't touched a fucking smoked malt in their life, and they're going to
Oh,
make
I
a
don't know.
fucking.
well, it'll tell you, it'll separate the wheat from the chaff really quickly,
Yeah,
won't it?
fucking will.
If
Yeah.
they do a
Massively.
mixed case, I'm hoping they do a mixed case that I can grab of all.
Yeah.
the festival
If
beers.
they
that'd be
do,
cool.
let me know or grab me one. And if you see it, get it. And
Yeah.
I want to try them.
Smoke fest.
I just lost Tom's video. This dragon fruit Berliner Weiss is quite tasty. Dragon fruit's a pretty subtle flavor.
Yeah.
When it's generally speaking as a fruit. So as a Berliner Weiss, it's not as tart as the other sours I've had so far. But it's definitely got a dragon fruity flavor. So
It's mostly used for color. It always has a beautiful color to it. So
it does.
there
It's
is a
almost
character to it, but it's just. Not
it's almost a
much.
melony character, but not sweet. It's more like a tart raspberry in a melon. I know that doesn't make any fucking sense, but that's how I describe the flavor to somebody who's never tried it before.
Wasn't the flesh of a dragon fruit white, and it's only the color that you get from the skin?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Isn't
I
there? Isn't
think
it the
you're
bits
right.
between the seeds is actually the purpley bit? I don't know. Yeah.
Don't
Where-
know.
It only gets
You're
used.
just a
I'm pretty
grey
sure it
square
only
to
gets
me.
used for color
There we go.
in Pash.
Yeah,
Right.
so the inside of a dragon fruit is white. So it's the pink color that comes from the actual skin.
Right.
Yeah. I think you're thinking of pomegranates, Tom.
Maybe.
Let's
Flavor
talk
and the
about
seeds.
our spotlight. Have we moved on from trailer trash like an
No,
hour
we
ago?
haven't finished our Eclipse
Fucking
conversation yet.
Star Wars. Okay.
I'm scared to start it again because usually when I start this, then I think I get cut off. Someone comes in and like cuts my like Ethernet cables. They're just like, get out, stop talking about them.
Talk fast.
Okay, we're going to talk about Star Wars. We're going to talk about all the Star Wars you can fit into one sentence. All right, we're going to talk about all the Star Wars. No, so Dan and I both agreed it looks, despite the timeline, the guys playing the drums looked like the Yuuzhan Vong, which come in after Return of the Jedi in the old things. I guess they could use them now because they would have made that all legends. That wouldn't
Yeah,
be
it's
canon
legends,
anymore.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So it's just I need to go play one of their games properly. I was saying to Dan when we were off air that I haven't really played any of their games. I've seen them and they look, it's like kind of watching a movie, then suddenly you do like a bunch of quick time events, from what I gather. How that's going to translate to the Star Wars universe, don't know.
Yeah.
We're kind of enjoying Star Wars stories at the moment. If they're really in depth and they go right into the lore, then cool. Like, I don't need to be firing a blaster to, enjoy it and kind of like have that kind of like more relaxing gaming experience. But they are
That's
talking
definitely
about
what they've done too.
multiple
so their
branching
website
stories as well.
Yeah, so their website describes it as Quantic Dreams and Lucasfilm games from award-winning independent studio Quantic Dreams and Lucasfilm games come Star Wars Eclipse, a new action-adventure, multiple-character branching narrative game set in the High Republic era of the iconic Star Wars galaxy.
Yeah. Okay, so it's going to be go play Detroit Become Human. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go
So
play it anyway.
the multiple characters you're going to be. So you saw Yoda in the Jedi Temple. You saw the Nemodian guy.
Nemoidians.
Nemoidian
Trade
with
Federation.
The fucking that's Trade Federation. What's the guy with the fucking eye patch in the market?
He is a. Oh no, I'm going deep into the recesses now.
Yeah. Well, there was a Mon Calamari guy that it zoomed in on, and there was a couple of Jedi fighting.
It's not a Chiss because that's
No, that's a Thrawn.
Yeah. Fuck, I'll find it.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
So there's definitely multiple characters that they're showing there, and if it's High Republic, it's a screwy timeline for the Yuzhan Vong.
It's set 200 years before Phantom Menace, is what they're saying.
And it's set in an uncharted section of the galaxy with never before seen species and planets to discover in the Outer Rim.
That's the Yuzhan Vong, so they come from the uncharted areas, and they're force
So it
sensitive.
might be our first canon meaning of the species.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, like, it would be amazing. But they can't rewrite. Like, this is what I was saying to you guys offline as well. This is the direction that they should have taken the new sequel movies that we've gotten. So they should have, if this is the path they wanted to take, if they made The Force Awakens in Legends, we would have started at the book series that I'm reading now, which is the Legacy of the Force, which is all of the main Luke, Han, and Leia are all in their 60s and 70s, which is exactly where they were in Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
They could have run through that, and then they could have, if they wanted to make another trilogy pre that, they could have de-aged them, or they could have, and Disney has the de-aging technology, they could have recast them, or they could have cast them with the kids of these characters and only had Luke, Han, and Leia as de-aged. And
it would have been better to do the kids.
Yeah, well, the kids
the
are
de-aging technology is good, but it's not good for a whole sequence. Like, you couldn't do a whole movie with de-aging tech.
No, well, that's what I'm saying.
It'd cost too much money, and it just wouldn't hold up.
So if they'd done Force Awakens as the Legacy of the Force series, which is the exact timeline, the exact right timeline, which is what they should have done. You've got Jason Jana, is that his name? Jana?
Probably not.
Yeah. And so they're Luke and Han and Leia's twins.
Species is a Duros.
That's
the big blue-headed dude.
Yeah, with a big eye and the eye patch. And then you've got Ben as Mara and Luke's son. Mm-hmm. And they're the kids that are going in this Force Awakens timeline.
Yeah. Don't they recreate the Jedi Order, essentially?
Yeah, so the Jedi Order
the original books
has been rebuilt. So, but before that, they had the Yuzhan Vong invasion, which was like 20 years before that. And if they just de-age them to be minor characters, not major characters, and used Anakin Solo, who is Han and Leia's first son, in that story, Jason's in it as well. Jason gets pulled out to be captured by the Yuzhan Vong, and that's where he first touches the dark side. And it's an incredibly interesting story, and they could have built such a franchise on top of these stories they already had, but they relegated all of this shit to fucking Legends
and decided to retell the original trilogy.
Well, they've retold it now, but now they're pulling stuff from Legends. If these guys are the Yuzhan Vong,
quote unquote expanded universe, because it's not the Skywalker saga. It's like that's where they've honed the movies into, and now they're going, oh, you guys did all this shit like 30, 40 years ago? Yeah, let's use it now. Yeah, no one remembers.
But the ridiculousness of calling it the Skywalker saga, and then kind of discounting the stuff that they'd done in Legends. Why did they do what they... I have so many questions that are all rolling through my head. I actually can't articulate.
If we're not careful, we're going to end the episode talking about this trailer trash item.
It's just ridiculousness that they've taken such a wealth of stories that they could have developed out. They're now nitpicking
and then pissed it away.
And they've pissed it away. They have. They've missed their opportunity.
Because
it's gone.
Because those original Legend stories were couched in context that made them awesome stories. And they keep taking threads out of them, removing the context, that you end up with a husk of a cool idea and trying to blend them in with all these other husks. And you don't get a good story out of it.
That exactly ties into one of the biggest issues I have with The Force Awakens and that trilogy is, why would Han and Leia have called their son Ben? Neither of them even met Obi-Wan. Leia did when she was fucking born.
Excuse me.
No,
Where did you dig up that old fossil?
Oh, okay.
You outquoted me the other week. I get to outquote you this week. Boom.
Yeah. The ending.
Normality restored to the universe.
There is balance. But it's such like Luke.
They met him.
The idea of Mara and
wasn't
Luke
impactful.
calling their son Ben.
Yeah,
I agree.
10 times more sense. Yeah.
I agree with you. So Obi-Wan Kenobi never had an impactful relationship with Leia or Han Solo.
Yes, he had a very 1 or 2 day
Fleeting
relationship with Han and no contact with Leia until we get more content now that might...
And yet
Leia,
it was Luke's connection to his father was through...
For Leia, it would have been...
But it wouldn't have been Ben.
They never met. But
it would have been
Obi-Wan.
No.
It would have been
Obi-Wan. Yeah. The only person who had a real relationship was Luke, when his connection to Anakin was through old Ben Kenobi. And the stories that he'd heard about old Ben before he met him and he became Obi-Wan. So
yes.
I totally agree.
Sorry, sidebar there. I was super excited for Eclipse. I think that trailer is fantastic. I think the Yuuzhan Vong, if that is them, and I almost guarantee it is them.
If they do deliver 1,000 different endings,
I will take
like
20 lashes if it's not.
Well, the only thing I thought of was that it may have been a offshoot. It's like there's a shot at the end of the trailer, because I rewatched it before we started, and one of the drummers turns to the camera, and I don't know if it's just a design thing, but I almost thought it was like an offshoot of the Nemoidians. The fact that they featured so heavily in that trailer, but I haven't read any of the High Republic stuff. I need to get into it, but I'm not sure how big the Trade Federation is in that, but they featured heavily in that trailer. Like we had the episode 1,
the big droid control ship.
Yeah. So
I wondered why that was actually in there.
So I don't know if they're like a kind of like, they're, because that was quite a, for lack of a better word, tribal scene compared to the way that the Nemoidians in the Trade Federation treat themselves, where they're wearing
corporate.
Almost. Well, they're almost like they treat themselves, corporate royalty. Like their gowns kind of mimic what Padme wears in Episode 1. It's meant to be like an offshoot of that. So, like, if that's like them rising up, and the dude that comes out of the black liquid that they're rising, like, who's that meant to be? Like,
So the only reason, and I keep going on to this, they did have a little bit of a Yuuzhan Vong vibe, but like the
army
Vong,
marching definitely did. That's where I got it most.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the drums had very organic bits. So you see the drummer hitting them from both sides, not necessarily
like
the guy
taiko
hitting
drums.
it in front.
They were like Japanese.
But if you look at
drums kind of thing.
the shroud around the drum, it was very organic. And it was bits and pieces up around the drum, and then the guy coming out of the black goo, and that was their big thing. The Yuuzhan Vong were very nature organic. I mean, they started to terraform.
The instrument is an organic instrument. The original drum, like if you look at the timpani, it was made out of wood with skin over the top.
Yeah.
So
one of the powers of the Yuuzhan Vong was they could counteract the Force. That was the whole thread of them. They could
nullify it
the Force.
almost.
Yeah. They use these like weird lizard things that would counteract them. I remember, in the stories,
and they started to terraform Coruscant. So even in what I'm reading now, the Legacy of the Force, the lower levels of Coruscant are still this like swamp like area. And I mean, in one of the books, they even go down to, they call it a world mind or something like that, and it's an organic being that lives in the center of the planet and is kind of tapped into it, and it's this organic nature race that they wanted to completely turn this city-wide planet into more of a natural thing. So, and that was the huge vibe I got. It was like you said, it was tribal. It was organic roots of all of us. I mean, we all came from, no matter what race you are, you all came from this drum beating tribe. So it just that's how it spoke. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the story. I'm now less excited about the gameplay, but I'm looking forward to the story they're going to tell.
Yeah, I definitely think, I need to go play.
It's an interactive book. It's a choose-your-own adventure, and that is what Quantic Dreams do.
It's a little hard to keep
but
that in canon
I want to
if it's
see
a
how
choose-your-own
that
adventure.
plays, like how interactive it is. Are you just watching essentially part of a movie and then suddenly it goes...
And then your dialogue dictates kind of how it unfolds?
Or am I running around? Will I actually get, I think with something, especially an IP like Star Wars, like they're going to have to somehow incorporate like in some sort of action sequence into it. I mean, if I think about Heavy Rain, they had a QuickTime thing where it's the one thing I've seen, because it's like, how badly could you fuck up a QuickTime? It was a video I saw on YouTube. How badly could you fuck up a QuickTime interaction? And it was with Heavy Rain, and you're running through like a grocery store chasing a guy who knows where your son is. And if you mistimed everything, he just kept falling over and like running into boxes, and like it was, almost like Starsky and Hutch kind of comical-esque, like how badly
that was early on in the game as well.
Yeah, but it's like, how badly could you fuck it up? But it's like, well, is that going to happen in a lightsaber fight? Are you going to be able to be like, if you can time your quick time presses like to thing, almost like in Arkham Origins when you fought Deathstroke. Yeah. I remember there was a trophy. If you fought that fight perfectly, if you got like button press after button press, you could perfectly fight Deathstroke using gauntlets. And yeah, it was a great fight. But like, if they're going to do something like that, like that's kind of cool. Like, it's not just going to be press B, press square to swing your lightsaber. It's like, no, if you do this, if you press these buttons in sequential order, you'll do, Anakin and Obi-Wan in the hallway just swinging lightsabers around each other, like never actually connecting, but fucking, it looks great. It looks fantastic. Yeah. Like, yeah, that kind of cinematic storytelling.
How good would it have been? I've always thought when they're doing that, and it's such a beautiful shot, and obviously the sound design is amazing. How good it would have been if Anakin's lightsaber at that stage, he just bled the kyber, and it had just gone red.
It turned red?
Yeah. That would have been awesome.
A little bit of a missed opportunity, but...
We should move on so we don't spend the whole episode just talking about that. Well, we don't finish the episode.
Spent the whole episode talking about
it. I've corrected myself. I'm a little pissy now. You wanted to talk about the Matrix Unreal Engine 5 game / demo / experience.
Yeah, okay. So I need to wee again.
Okay.
Cool.
And Tom's internet has disabled its video again. Really not having a good time.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly pee while we do this, and
cool.
I'll come back and talk to you about this.
Okay.
You going to pause?
Yes. No? Yes.
Just to be safe.
What a mess of an episode for our last.
I just don't want to try that.
Don't want to try what?
Know who else may be watching.
Plus your fucking inline radio transmitter.
We've been guerrilla radio broadcasting this episode into the airwaves.
And we're back with our guerrilla radio. Oh, damn it. I keep opening really fucking tasty beers as kind of unofficial. We're not going to review these beers in this episode, beers.
I'm doing this one. I'm reviewing this one.
Is it a mountain culture too, Tom?
No. This is...
Thanks for a flash of the label.
Oh, no, it's a good label, though. I will show it to you. So I have... nice dark here for the
end.
Yeah.
This is...
I've got
Hawker's,
so many good Imperial Stouts for you fuckers.
This is an Imperial Pastry Stout from Hawker's. It's their Solarism. Look at that can art.
Yeah,
How
that's
cool
sick.
is that? Boom. This was part of my beer cartel advent calendar. This is day 11. I didn't have it last night because I'd had a few beers after I finished work after a shitty day. Because I ended my day by holding someone's forehead together with gauze. When they took a tumble down some stairs. I hope he's okay.
Horizontally or vertically?
Literally.
Diagonally.
No,
the slash or the stairs?
One step,
yeah.
2 step, 3 step, wall. Yeah, and he hit it hard. He came down with pace.
With gusto.
Oh, wow.
So I had to stay back at work last night. But he was okay. He just had a mild concussion. Got his head glued back together. Literally glued back together.
Yeah.
Like the super glue on it.
The best thing was that
it's funny because that's been a.
I looked at the cut and went, man, it looks like a chicken foot. Like it literally had the Y prongs and then the one center line, and I was like, yeah, man, you got like a chicken, like it's like a chicken's kicked you in the fucking forehead. And then
hopefully gets a gnarly skull.
Paramedic looked at it, he goes, "Did you get kicked by a chicken?" Like it's one of those moments. I was like, yeah.
Hopefully he gets a gnarly scar. Chicks love that shit, so
yeah,
I'm sure it'll be fine.
His wife was not happy, so chicks don't dig that shit.
Well, this is only one chick that matters, right?
Yeah. So anyway, this is what is it? It's an 8% Imperial Pastry Stout from Hawkers. This was day 11 in the beer cartel advent calendar.
This is going to be a super long episode at this rate, which I said I didn't want to do, but here we are. Yeah. No, I can see Dan winding up. I can see Dan winding up like Popeye style for a big punch. Go.
Why
the only thing I was going to say was if we do Tuesday after Christmas Eve, final recording, I will bring that fucking Viking medal.
Yeah, sweet. I've got
Tom, the one you gave me for last year. For
10
years.
10th anniversary beer. Yeah.
I said, well, I'll save it for a barbecue we have together, and we haven't been able to do it for fucking 2 goddamn years. Yeah, no, I've been saving it so we're all together.
Well, if we make
haven't been able to do it.
If we make a thing out of it, we'll do a recording in the early afternoon, and then I'll whack the Barbie on.
Pretty close.
It's pretty close. Yeah. If we do a thing, then we'll do the recording, and then I'll throw the Barbie on, and we'll do a Barbie.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm drinking
roaring fires, malt beer.
I'm drinking
meat off the bone.
I love you, Tom. You're an arsehole. Tallboy and Moose does beer, or make beer, rather. This is their Razzleberry Fresca Fruit Cream Sour. It's too sweet, really,
I haven't
for a sour.
The beer yet. Talking about it.
We can come back to you. It is a sour. It is a raspberry sour, but it's got a lot of lactose in it. It's 4.5%. It's thoroughly enjoyable. It's another strawberries and cream style beer. Raspberries and cream.
You both seem very confused about your final beers. Pizza's too sweet and not sour enough.
But it's
pulling faces.
Orange juice wa suki desu ka? Nice desu. It is. That's actually Japanese, by the way.
Yeah,
I was going to say that it sounded Japanese.
That's the only Japanese I remember from year 7 and year 8. How to ask for orange juice? How to ask for ice cream? So they said it's a orange cinnamon laden morning bun pastry stout. It's like a Jaffa. There's so much orange. Like
should be cinnamon. Is there a cinnamon note in there anywhere?
There's like that cinnamon kind of bite to it, but it's orange. It is orangey. I don't know if it's that like synthetic orange that you were talking about before, but it is. It feels like I put some Morning Fresh on, just like on the table nearby. Like it's a bit much.
Too much.
That's probably why I was making that face. Like,
I've got some magical imperial Russian stouts for you guys to try if we do get together just after Christmas.
Is that we've got the Trilogy of Dark series? I've got
that episode's going to need some super editing.
I've got 3 trilogies of hardcore Imperial IPAs.
Just sit there.
Imperial stouts, rather. Yeah, we can't get through nine Russian Imperial Stouts in one episode. You'd have
That's
palate
your
fatigue
uncle
and be
talking.
trashed.
No, if you actually remember, it will be 3 of us having 100 mils of that stout, as opposed to 3 of us sitting in separate rooms having 500 mils of each stout.
Yeah, but it's also they're all 7+%. I think the weakest is 7%. Anyway, let's finish with Matrix Unreal Engine 5 game / demo.
I really want to hear about this, Dan.
experience.
Sounds cool.
Because none of us know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, so
don't know
did neither of you watch any of this from the Games Awards?
No, I
Game
watched
Awards.
it. I just haven't downloaded it and tried it.
Okay, so it starts off with Keanu Reeves saying, "Hey, I'm Thomas Anderson. I live my..." The fucking dialogue is completely janky and horribly written. The whole dialogue scene between Keanu Reeves. So he starts off talking about Thomas Anderson, and it fades from original scene of Thomas Anderson asleep on his keyboard in The Matrix, fades through the computer to Keanu, how he is now, saying, "I'm Thomas Anderson," blah, 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 blah. Then that fades into him in the background of Morpheus and young Neo talking in the construct.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walks over to a mirror and he looks in the mirror, and on the other side of the mirror is Keanu Reeves. And then it switches to, "Hey, I'm Keanu Reeves. It's been 20 years since I played the character Thomas Anderson." And not until you hit that point does it be absolutely...
It sounds like he was about to do a, "Hi, I'm Troy McClure."
No,
you might remember me from such films as The Matrix,
Fuck yes. That is exactly what it reminds me of, Tom.
John
That
Wick,
is,
and everything else I've been in.
Johnny
it's
Mnemonic.
been bugging me since I watched it the other day. What I was
Constantine,
thinking...
there you go. That's the third film.
It's been bugging me since that day because I've got when he was talking about I'm Thomas Anderson, I was getting the whole Zaf Brannigan from fucking Futurama vibe.
Yeah.
But it's Troy McClure. That's who I'm getting it from.
But
Congratulations,
when you
you're
do the
captain now.
Keanu version, it has to be, "Hi, I'm Keanu Reeves. You might know me from such films as The Matrix and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure."
The thing is, he says it's been 20 years since I've played Thomas Anderson, and then it's kind of a wide shot, and he walks around young Neo in the construct, and he walks out because he has a bit of a limp. Keanu Reeves.
He's got a gait.
I don't know whether he's had a motorbike accident, because I know he's a motorbike rider. And I don't know whether he's had that accident, but he walks like Ted. Like it's just that gait. But that's exactly what it is. That 100%, you fucking watch that, and that's the exact.
So what
vibe
is
that
this
you
thing?
get.
This is a Unreal Engine 5 technical
I'm getting
demonstration.
I'm getting there, Pete.
Okay.
Give me two
He's
more
setting
seconds.
the scene.
Sorry.
So Keanu now talks about playing Thomas Anderson in The Matrix, and he starts talking about having how it was advancements in technology through bullet time and this and that. But it changes from real Keanu to
Digital.
CG Keanu.
Yeah.
And then they start talking about how we can change faces, and then it de-ages Keanu from now to Thomas Anderson, or Keanu back when the first Matrix was filmed. And then Carrie-Anne Moss does the same thing. She introduces herself. Carrie-Anne Moss played Trinity, blah, 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 blah. And then it changes from Carrie-Anne Moss to CG Carrie-Anne Moss. And it's almost Matrix Reloaded CG.
Yep.
They don't move right, and Keanu's neck is too long. Like his from his shoulders to his jawline is not Keanu's shoulder to jawline, and it shows. And then it fades from them talking about so filming has advanced from being able to film from filming a person on set to changing a person on set to wear whatever they want, look however they want through CG. And then it fades from the construct into Neo and Trinity in the V8 black car from Reloaded,
Yep.
driving along the freeway. And they're having this really almost stilted dialogue. It's really, the whole thing is horrible dialogue, and it's fucking horrific. And then all of a sudden, there's this chick in the back seat.
Do you figure it's just like bad cue cards from like, hi, I'm Thomas Anderson. Watch me in The Matrix.
Yes.
Resurrections.
Yes. have you seen the trailer? Because that's exactly how it reads.
No, I mean, I watched the
haven't.
original one, but I didn't think it was that. I didn't know if it was changed from thing to thing, but yeah.
No, it's really offset. It's horrible dialogue from two people that we know are actually good actors. And then Neo pisses off out of the car, and Trinity's left with this young African American girl in the back seat, who is another a free person from the Matrix, and they're being chased down the freeway by. It's meant to be.
Is this the shooting? Because I've seen some screenshots of it. Yeah.
So now you go into a shooting section, and you literally just flick the right, the left analog control stick to flick between. Flick between wheels or targets, and then you just pull the trigger to shoot. And
right.
It's beautiful. It is. Don't get me wrong. It is amazing. After that whole shitstorm of a fucking dialogue section is done, you actually it goes through a little bit of a cinematic. It pulls back from the city, from the freeway, and overdoes the city, and it starts talking about the ability of the Unreal Engine. So its day-night cycle, its lighting cycle, its ability to do the nanoparticles, everything that we saw.
Do you feel like this is what Cyberpunk wished they could have done?
Yeah.
Yes.
Should have been built in the Unreal Engine.
There's those guys writing in to be like, please put in the things we wish we could have done.
Yeah. So you get kind of a credit sequence where you can just hit a button and it'll just flick between something else. Right. I've lost Tom video.
Yeah.
It'll just flick between the elements of the Unreal Engine, and then once it gets through that credit sequence in quotations, it actually zooms down and puts you in a third person view in the fucking Matrix city. And it's goddamn fucking beautiful. It is. There's nothing to do other than walk around and read some little plaques.
Is it still based on Sydney?
Not really. It kind of has that vibe, but it's more Matrix Reloaded City.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, actually, no. It is 100% Matrix Reloaded City. But you can hit a button and hit it's called the drone, and it just says fly. And you can just pull the drone up and just fly around this whole city. And you look, and it's a wonderful version of the Matrix. It is a computer-generated version of what our world is. So all the buildings are 2 or 3 times higher than they should be, with generic windows all the way up. But it's a beautiful version of what this engine is able to do. It is absolutely amazing.
So it's a tech demo of the engine.
It's a tech. It's 100% a tech demo, and it looks real. Like, you stand on the city corner and you would go, if this was a photo from a city, I wouldn't even question it. It's like the people are a little jilted. There's the shadows for the actual people walking through the city aren't quite right, but the actual buildings and the lighting and everything that's on the environment, which is what your main focus is on, is amazing. Like, the effort that they have put into this is incredible. And you look into an apartment window or a shop front window, and it has depth. There is photocopiers, and there's desks, and there's beds, and there's TVs. You get to a building that's got TVs on the wall in the apartment, and you look at it, and it's Trinity it's a news bulletin of Trinity on the freeway with the Keymaster. I'm talking Ghostbusters here. What was his name? The lock
it was
guy.
The Keymaster.
It was the Keymaster, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was the Keymaster?
Yeah.
So him on the bike, the shot.
That's right. Shot when he was in the hallway.
Yeah, so it's Trinity on the bike with him, the Ducati with him on the back, and
because she's all like,
it's a news bulletin.
Wait, I need to download the Hotwire a bike, and he goes, never mind, here you go, and passes the key. Yeah. No, he's the Keymaster.
that's the shot that's on the TV when you look into the apartment buildings when you're flying the drone.
Cool. Yeah, right.
And it all has depth. Like the rooms have depth, and they feel like buildings. They feel like actual structures that have depth.
There's weight it's not and depth like to it. Yeah.
You fly the drone up, and it's not a 2D right on the window with no depth or the perception of depth. It's not. It actually has depth, and the shop windows on ground level are more amazing, and they're really diverse and everything. And if this is anything that is going to point towards how games are going to be in the next 10 years,
it's exciting.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's 200 megabytes or something like that is 100% worth downloading. It might be more than that.
It
might be 2 gig, but
I think about going from
that's small, man. When patches are 100 fucking gig,
it must be 2 gig. Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking about like when you're talking about the quality of the environmental aspects and looking in windows and passing people on the street and all that kind of stuff. Just thinking about the upgrade from playing the Insomniac Spider-Man game from PS4 to PS5. I don't know if you guys have had the chance to do that, but the PS5, like New York City, is buzzing and alive compared to the PS4 one, which was already buzzing and alive. But the PS5 one has all the bells and whistles going for it as well. But then just the when you talk about that depth, it's just like it feels there, so you feel more involved in it. And I've only swung around in it for like 5 minutes. I haven't actually gone and replayed the game on PS5, and it's one thing I want to do. But even in 5 minutes, you really felt like the just that New York City was that much more alive and immersive than the PS4 version was.
And that's the when I was flying the drone, because I pulled the drone, and you can speed the drone up.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the drone at Spider-Man swing level.
Yeah.
And I was like really zipping through the streets because the Matrix is gridded as well. So it's nice long square
just
streets.
Like New York. New York's gridded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was exactly the vibe that I got when I was flying the drone through there, and that was exactly what I thought. I'm now going to put Spider-Man in and see what the PS5 version is like, because I don't have any other games that and God of War, but I think Spider-Man is going to be the one that I'm going to throw into the PS5 and just see what it looks in that enhanced version.
Do the comparison.
If it has that depth, and if we get that depth in some sort of open world game, and if this is what they have in mind for a Matrix game that they will announce when the movie comes out, man, this is just going to be another, and pardon the pun, a revolution in what we see on screen.
Yeah, cool.
No, excited. Yeah, 100% excited.
Yeah, and then we're going to have to wait for the PlayStation 7 to actually get the technology to run this thing smoothly.
That'll be running the actual Matrix. That's what we'll be doing. We'll be grabbing the PS7 cord and plugging it into the back of our heads, and then just like leaning back.
It is smooth as butter. This thing, it is absolutely gorgeous.
But the code base for the game, for the tech demos, like I'm a bazillion. I almost said a word I can't say. It's a very, very small proportion of what an actual game would be.
I understand that, but we are in the early days of PS5. You can jump
They'll
in.
Optimize the shit out of the code.
You can seamlessly fly this drone around. You can, as a person in the Matrix. Oh, and this is one of the other beautiful things. You can get in a car and drive any parked car that is around, parked on the side of the road. You can jump in the car, drive it around. The beautiful thing, when you turn a corner or you hit a pedestrian, they turn into Matrix code. And they like off. Morph through the car. Okay. And then they appear on the other side. The Matrix code rebuilds on the other side as they continue their path through where you have driven. It's like to me that
this sounds very interesting.
They are writing this game now using this technology.
Yeah.
And they are incorporating these things that they have put in this demo this tech demo into this game. 100%. This is with the release of the new movie, we're definitely getting something along this vein.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's finish this mess of an episode that I'm going to have to sew together in 17 parts. With
we call it a Christmas Frankenstein.
We
bought them Frankenstein, incense, and myrrh. There's your episode title right there.
Yep.
Better than that other weird one we said before.
What are we planning on playing over the holidays?
Oh, so I get my long service leave, which I'm very excited about. So I get 2 months off. But I am planning to go back and finish a bunch of games that I've finished once, but I'm going to go back and play like the ultra hard modes. They're talking about Kingdom Bridge of Spirits. I'm trying to finish Dragon Age Inquisition on Nightmare mode, which is an absolute clusterfuck. I've got, but I'm really excited. Actually, I'm going to start from scratch. I've got Outer Worlds, so I'm gonna get into that, which I'm really excited about. Most of my other games are super easy, but there's one or two. Sackboy, we talked about that. Might be fun to play together. Godfall. I don't know if you guys saw that. That's the new PS Plus, PS5 game. I have the original one. You guys are going to get the expansion if you get off PS Plus, but it's like a third-person Diablo from over the shoulder kind of thing. So
so was Diablo.
What are you guys going to play?
It was kind of quarter, 3/4 shot over the shoulder.
Oh, this is tighter. This is like literally cameras like there. Like,
right. Yeah. Right, okay.
What about you guys?
Dan?
I just jumped back into Red Dead Redemption 2.
How is it? Have you noticed an upgrade on the PS5?
Still haven't started.
It's the frame rate's higher, and the load times are slightly shorter, not enormously shorter, but slightly shorter. The frame rate's definitely higher, and it's pretty fucking smooth. I do have to say
it's a big, beautiful game though. So
it's just an amazing.
That
amazing,
game could never
game.
have run pre the kind of final phase of PS4. Like that the
Pro, it needed the Pro.
It's the only game that I never run through. I never. If I'm walking through a town, I never tap the button to run. I always walk at the speed of the character.
A side conversation that Pete and I have saved for a slow podcast of games that force you to walk when you should be able to fucking run, because it's one of my biggest pet hates.
I think we talked about,
and this is the
we've
other way
alluded to it. We've literally we've kissed on the cheek and just been like, we'll come back to you.
Yeah.
I walk through this game every time I'm in a civilized area. I will just stroll through it. It's such a gorgeous game that if you run through this shit and try and run to your objective, you miss 80% of the content. This goes back to what we talk
about the atmosphere of a game.
And that's one of the biggest things that made me think of that, is just that Red Dead is when an
NPC town draws you into the fact that you just want to walk through it. You don't just want to, go run to the store that you can get X amount of pelts from, or get X amount of gold from. You just want to actually wander the town for lack of a better reason.
And pick up on the atmosphere.
100%.
And it's peaceful. It relaxes me. It really, and this is where I go back to and continuously keep putting on Mad Max, the Mad Max game, and driving around the wasteland in that game was just beautiful, and just peaceful. Yeah. It was just
peaceful until someone threw a fucking Lancer with a bomb at you,
and then you just harpoon their tires and pull them off their car, and then they have to get out, and you beat the living snot out of them, blow their car up, and steal all their shit.
But peaceful, everybody. Peaceful.
Peacefully. Yeah. So
very zen.
Red Dead and the Sinking City are going to take up my time.
Cool. Peter?
I don't know. And just as you asked me, and as I unmuted, the fucking guys are back with their little Vespers out the front. So there's a lot of background noise.
I can hear them
puttering away in the background.
Puttering is right. It's fucking 50cc engines. It's like a fucking lawnmower. I don't know. So I'm going to start streaming solo, I think, and I've got. I will
streaming that like don't. I'm like you, Pete. You earn enough that you don't have to do an OnlyFans. Streaming
Pete,
solo is not something you need to do.
I'm not doing an ASMR Amaruth style. Like I'm just those special
Pete,
lick
just,
mics.
You die far too often. Like,
well, I guess we'll see. There's a whole bunch of games that PS4 games that I really need to have played and I haven't. So I'm thinking about going back through that shopping list, and RDR2 is one of them. The original.
Oh, that is not a. That
you
is,
can't just
that
breeze
is a
through
big
that. Yeah, I get
commitment,
that.
man.
I get that, but it's a Last of Us 1 and 2.
please, if you play
the Miles
Red Dead
Morales
Redemption
edition
2 and stream it like the whole time, just like mutter under your breath. Gotta know when to hold up. Know when to hold up. Just generic Western songs like the whole time.
I'll have to go and learn some, but sure.
Yeah. Just have like a script of just like
I was going to say I'll have the
Western
lyrics.
tunes, just like
It's not a bad idea. Yeah. So that's what I plan to play over the holidays. I'm just going to go catch up on a bunch of games. I've got the next 6 weeks off, but I have to drive to Bathurst for work in the middle of my first week of holidays. So
is that to do the Scafie 1000?
No.
In the tank around the?
No.
Are you going around the mountain in the tank?
I missed that. No. And I timed it poorly because it was 2 weeks
Pete's
ago.
gonna
I
drive
put it on the
to
1200.
Bathurst. Pete's going to drive to Bathurst in a V8 and not drive it around.
Around the
mountain.
Bathurst track, yeah. Yeah, it's not... Yeah, maybe I'll do that, actually. I haven't really thought about that.
Be honest. You're going to do it, aren't you?
Maybe possibly.
It's open. You know it's open, don't
I know
you?
it's open, but you also can't speed on it. It's got a 40 or a 50
it's
kilometre
like
an hour
40K.
speed limit.
Yeah, unless you get it on a closed day. Yeah.
And I've got a 2.5 ton 4-wheel-drive V8. It's not the sort of car you can throw into corners, although it's supposed to be.
I got 2.5 ton 4.
But anyway, fuck you. I think on that note, we're going to
I think my Fiesta would beat your tank. That's just what I'm saying.
probably end the episode. I'll take that Pepsi challenge. If you've been following us all year, thank you very much. It's been a really epic year. Last season / year, I think we did 14 episodes, maybe 15. Now, considering
this online stuff, except for my shitty internet connection, has been fantastic.
Considering we're supposed to record fortnightly, the fact that we're on episode 20 out of a maximum of 26, I think we've done all right given COVID lockdown, all that sort of bullshit. So.
And the only ones we missed, the only ones we would have missed was when you were sorting out our at-home technical shit.
Oh, and right at the start of the year. Like the continuation
we hadn't
of
even
the
thought
dramas
about the
from last year.
online technical idea.
Yeah. So if you've been following us from the start of
pat
the
on
year,
back
thank you
for
very
us.
much.
Well done, gentlemen.
Well, I was going to say thank you very much to
Good
the
form,
listeners.
Peter. Good form.
Good for.
Hope you all have a safe and happy festive season. Your non-denominational holiday. And we'll see you potentially just before the end of the year. But even if we record
I think we do a
on
little
that last
special.
Tuesday,
I think we do a little in-person special just to round out the year.
But even if we do, it won't be released until 2022, I don't think.
Let's do it live.
We'll see
do
what
it
we
live.
Let's do
Fuck it, we'll do
a.
it live.
Let's do it. Yeah.
That's
Let's do a
dangerous.
2021. Fuck you. Live.
Yeah, we'll beat
a
Netflix to it.
live in person 2021. Fuck you.
Yeah, all right.
No, because it'll be the
I've got some holidays to
2021
figure out how,
Fuck you, it's
so-
live Imperial Stout edition. It's balls to the wall, fucking crazy. Only listen to the first 30 minutes,
Adults
everybody.
only.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for
everyone
listening.
have a good holiday. Be nice to each other
Take care.
and drink plenty of beer because it's good for you.
Thank you.
Water.
It is mostly water. Got to hydrate through the summer. It's a wet, hot summer, people. Very wet and hot.
Wet hot summer.
Bye.
Arrivederci.